He's just the trash sweeper of the Luvan sect. Because he worked hard to farm views and likes from you, he awakened the top-level cultivation system. But when he saw his fortune chart, Sovon immediately fell silent. Not only was he born under the heavenly killing star, but his aura was as dark as a black dog. If he doesn't break through to the spirit absorption realm within a month, he will be expelled from the sect and die while descending the mountain helping others. Time traveling without backtracking from the starting line is also a godly and tyrannical body. He has absolutely nothing. Looking over at Tubintin beside him. Realm Thung attain heavy chief achieving great emperor. Damn, he only knows how to shock the luck level to red dog status. You're still a rookie. He saw the upcoming opportunity for him again. Accidentally picked up the ancient bloodvine under the Lenko tree. If he gets the ancient bloodvine, won't he break through from the self-body's 7th heavy realm to the spirit absorption realm? He immediately jumped into action. Very quickly, Sovon found the ancient bloodvine and swallowed it directly. Its taste was awful, but Sovon felt the spiritual energy rushing powerfully throughout his body and began forming seals to absorb it all. After a while, his eyes emitted spiritual light, and his whole body felt refreshed. He just broke through 3 realms straight to the spirit absorption realm. Looks like I'm not afraid of being expelled from the sect anymore. Suddenly, senior brother Teo appeared behind him, startling Sovon a bit. He could only pretend to casually walk by. His eyes suddenly contracted. Looking at this guy's fortune chart, unexpectedly, he picked up the Hanvian sword in Handam. Today's really lucky, but no benefits to enjoy. Ha ha ha. I'll just take all your stuff then. Tubintin didn't pay any attention to him. To him, the weak are just insignificant pests. If he hadn't promised Master not to kill recklessly, he would have died long ago. Deep Sovon just said that Handam was damp and slippery. Senior brother, be careful not to get muddy. He immediately showed off his sword skills and left. Sovon then laughed heartily. Who doesn't know this guy is so clean, he even steals others' equipment? At Nam Tam Fong's Handam Jiep Sovon directly jumped down below. This place is too cold now. My body's about to give out. Luckily, he found it, but as soon as he touched it, his hand instantly froze. The intense pressure caused him pain. Sovon had to use all his strength to pull it out from the bottom of the lake. A loud bang shook the ground as if it was shattered. You have to know that on the TM Long continent, magical treasures are divided into 4 grades: mundane, spiritual, precious, and mystical. Each grade is further divided into 3 subgrades. The entire Luvan sect only has 1 top-grade mystical treasure. Moreover, only during sect-wide disasters is the sect leader allowed to wield a mystical treasure in battle. Even most of the elders in Luvan sect only have lower-grade mystical treasures. The Hanvian sword in his hand was a lower-grade mystical treasure. It was truly a rare item that kept Sovon excited nonstop. He also felt a flow of Hanvian chi energy, helping circulate spiritual energy within his body. His face kept showing joy. This really is my treasure. In just 1 day with 2 major opportunities, he successfully transformed himself. Confidently looked at his fortune chart. But life sure isn't a dream. His realm had increased to spirit absorption, 1st heavy realm, but his fate was still flooded with great calamity. In a month, he would be stabbed to death by enemies with no one to bury him. At that moment, he suddenly heard someone's voice. It seemed to be Trio Ngakho. He relied on his older brother being an inner sect disciple to bully others here. Sovon didn't want to watch the drama. Continuing to steal fortune to become stronger was the real way. At that moment, the cries for help grew louder. It was a female miscellaneous disciple being bullied by Tro Ngakho's group. He couldn't resist when he saw her smooth body. Sick face. Let me make you feel good, little sister. Before he could finish, his pig face was slapped away by Sovon. Looking cool. Tell those brats if they have good stuff, don't leave me out. Ngakho shouted angrily. Sovon hasn't taken a beating in days. Are you itching? A useless piece of trash dares to meddle in my business. Brothers, deal with him. Deep Sovon fearlessly challenged, bring it on, all of you. I'm in a hurry doing the Trung Kengake. Charging forward, he drew his new weapon, gently sliding like Joshua seasoning those female disciples with onions, then thanked for saving his life. But this guy just kept staring at the round soul of his little sister. Pervert, huh, man? I'm just looking at Tan Tich Nan's fortune chart and got drawn in. The realm is only the 3rd level of decay, but the identity is that of a reincarnated empress. Damn, maybe I have to take her as my wife to complete cultivation advancement and get help. Must drink it. Brother Tan Tich Nan blushes, seeing him staring at him. Ask senior brother, what's wrong? So Van hurriedly closed his eyes, rummaged in the chest pocket of his robe, took out 3 original pills and handed them to her. If sending Buddha off, then send him to the Western Heaven. I see junior sister's spirit isn't stable. Take these pills and drink them. They can help regulate your vital energy. Tantignan blushed shyly, reluctant to accept. Sovan placed the original pills into Tantichnan's hand. Now I am already at the receiving origin realm. These pills no longer have much effect on me. But for junior sister, maybe this opportunity can help break through cultivation. I can't always protect you. Only if you become strong yourself can I be at ease. Secondly, the scent flying all over made the little sister move secretly, thinking she must repay this kindness someday. Back to the group of Trio Ngak Ho, after running far away, he turned back to ask his subordinates. He's not chasing us here anymore. Right? No, he's not chasing anymore. Sire, they all sat down, catching their breath. All right, don't know what luck that Diepsove met again. That sword is definitely not simple. How could it be Tiger Bro? Feels like we can't beat him. True Ngak Ho arrogantly mentioned his brother. Huh. Have you all forgotten my brother is at the 3rd level of the original sea realm? Don't say the sword strike from deep, Sovan. I can take it down too. Hatred declared today's grudge. I definitely must avenge. Why is Van 2 Pavilion so dark with no lights? No one here. He was trembling as he stepped forward. Just then a pair of fiery red eyes and a cold voice rang out behind. Sovan, what are you doing? Sovan! Startled and scared, he jumped up and hugged the object in front of him tightly, while muttering a mantra, I'm just passing by, please don't cling to me. Cling. Amitabha, Amitabha. Sovan tried to grasp the thing in his hands, somewhat puzzled. Why is this pillar so soft and slightly warm? He looked up at what he was holding. Warm, huh? Get down. Give me that. Reminded by Tubanti, and Sovan hurriedly jumped away. Senior brother, too, said, what a coincidence this inner affairs pavilion is huge wandering around. I got lost. Luckily, I met senior brother here. Tubantian gritted his teeth and brushed his hands. This is Van 2 Pavilion. The inner affairs pavilion is over there. Get lost. Don't bother me training. So Van smiled but cursed Tubantian silently in his mind. Annoying neat freak. Thanks for the guidance, senior brother. Before leaving, he glanced at Tubantian's fate. So, it's blood origin, ancient vine. Hanyan's sword was just an appetizer. This is the main course. The next day, Sovan was happily exercising after breaking through the receiving origin realm. I'm officially an inner disciple now. He exercised while laughing loudly, ignoring the puzzled looks of others, and continued his own business. Each outer disciple, besides having a separate residence, has a chance once to enter the library to search for secret manuals and opportunities. An hour later, he held a blade of grass in his mouth, using his hands as binoculars to observe around, following the whole morning routine. Before him were the fates of other Desirees, all a bunch of fools, unlucky and mediocre. Sovan curled his lips, stood up, and dashed over. Not a single useful opportunity. Forget it. I'll go find my own. Just then a shout rang out, move aside! Sovan looked at the fate of the man in front of him. Trong Yam Fong came from a martial family, disliked restrictions, achieved many accomplishments, and found a top-grade mysterious manual. Sovan's eyes sparkled brightly. Heaven does not disappoint in a top-grade mysterious mixed-origin sword embryo. Isn't it a physical training, secret manual specifically for sword cultivators? He smiled very smugly. The cooked duck has already fallen into the bowl. Outside Leuven Sect 5, Yang Mountain, Sovan was sitting on a rock cultivating when suddenly he opened his eyes wide, clenching his fist triumphantly. Awesome, only 2 hours of training, and I've already broken through to the 3rd level of essence absorption. He carefully held the Honween sword embryo in his hand. The Honween sword embryo is a secret cultivation manual for sword cultivators. The stronger the body, the higher the strength. This is an excellent method to enhance power. Sovan pondered, looking at his fate. The swelling degree still hasn't changed in the end, and the countdown has already begun. He worried about the enemy not yet knowing who it was, but if fate allowed, he would just focus on raising his cultivation first. He jumped up excitedly, thrilled to rush to the list show. Heavenly Cave, but then slipped and fell flat on his face, only his pitiful screams echoing through the forest. Sovan lay flat on the ground after a moment of pain. He hugged his head and scrambled up. The heavenly killing only star really isn't a fate an ordinary person can endure. He rubbed his sore shoulders and sighed. Luckily, recent opportunities have strengthened my body. Otherwise, I'd surely be badly hurt. Suddenly, Sovan noticed the thick, bloody smell in the air. What is that smell? He turned his head toward a nearby cave where the strong stench of blood was overwhelmingly terrible, the smell of blood too intense. Driven by curiosity, Sylvain decided to enter the cave to investigate. As he went, he held his nose tightly. The discomfort grew worse and the blood smell became heavier the deeper he went in. His expression gradually changed. Suddenly, his foot stumbled over a human arm. What is this? Looking down, Sylvain froze when he saw countless corpses lying scattered. Could these all be disciples of Leuven's sect? At that moment, a group of people appeared from deep inside the cave. Who are you? Liu Sungbin continuously questioned Sylvain. You're an outer sect disciple of Leuven's sect on a mission for the sect, right? Sylvain forced a smile and replied, so it's the outer elder supervising disciples on missions? Elder, I accidentally fell off a cliff and smelled blood, so I came in to investigate. Wang Song looked at Sylvain suspiciously. I see your cultivation is only at the essence absorption stage, yet you fell from a cliff unharmed. Who are you trying to fool? Master said this person is definitely hiding something. Liu Xiangbing raised his hand to stop Wang Song. All right, the disciples of Five Yang Mountain are in trouble and it's unclear if anyone survived. We don't have enough people here. Since you have arrived, lend a hand. Before leaving, he instructed Wang Song and the two others, you go to the left side of the cave and see if anyone is still alive. Yes, yes, yes. Suo Yun laughed loudly, urging Wang Song, Senior brother, let's go. Suddenly, Wang Song fell to the ground, clutching his leg in pain. Junior brother, I just twisted my ankle. You go ahead. I'll follow after. Suo Yun smirked coldly. He had seen through Wang Song's scheme while Wang Song continued acting. It hurts so much, junior brother, slow down a bit. Once my leg feels better, I'll come find you. Suo Yun quietly moved deeper into the cave. This must be the way, he thought. Wang Song, you're playing a cunning game, but I won't give up this opportunity to you. He recalled when Wang Song pretended to twist his ankle, accidentally revealing his fate. Meeting a benefactor in such an opportunity, I can't miss it. Suddenly, Suo Yun shouted, Found it! He approached to check the breath of the young man before him. Still alive, this person is definitely a benefactor. After seeing Duan Heng's fate, Suo Yun sighed, another good fate. But when he saw Duan Heng's recent turning point, in the end he was defeated by his rival at Luoxia Valley, his soul shattered and body destroyed. In the mysterious cave mansion at Five Yang Mountain, he found a mysterious primordial embryo. Suo Yun's eyes widened in amazement. A mysterious primordial embryo. A scheming smile appeared on his face. Then he ruthlessly struck Duan Heng unconscious again. Sorry, senior brother. This treasure is mine now. Then he immediately stood up and searched around. After a while, a dazzling light flashed from behind a rock. Suo Yun shouted happily, Found it! Madame Fu's family, he gently lifted the stones blocking the entrance and walked into the cave. Inside the small cave was only a stone table, a glowing stone, and a book. Sylvain held up the embryonic core, eyes wide in amazement. Can this thing guide the primordial energy of heaven and earth? He operated the system control panel. Shouldn't stay here long, store the embryonic core and take it away, first study it at home. After a while, Liu Xungbin and his group arrived to check Duan Hun's wounds. Fortunately, his life is safe, only a head injury. We need to take him back to the sect immediately for treatment. He ordered the disciples, you stay here to watch inside the cave. Liu Xungbin turned to Sylvain and casually handed him a green jade pendant, praising, You did very well this time. Take this token back to the sect and claim your mission reward. Sylvain happily bowed and thanked him. Thank you, Elder finally finished the task. Next, he could head to the Le Chaux Heavenly Cave. The scene shifts to Le Chaux, the mysterious heavenly cave behind the mountains of the Liu Yun sect. Su Yun raised the Han Yun sword high and slashed at the waterfall in front of him, splitting the water in two and revealing the entrance to the cave. Su Yun hurriedly jumped up and entered inside. After successfully infiltrating inside, Su Yun breathed a sigh of relief. No guards today. They must have all been dispatched to watch over the spiritual ore mine behind the mountain. In front of him were two enormous stone swords deeply embedded in the ground, each carved with two lines of text. Sword intent like a wolf, as if without test or thought. Iron things join the assembly. Future generations must remember. The sword path deviates from the mind. Only the mind's way is steadfast. Su-yun stared intently at them, wondering, is this the inheritance trial? Without hesitation, he stepped forward with a determined gaze. Suddenly, Su-yun was startled to see a man wielding a sword appear before him, ready to attack. Heaven did not give birth to me. The man unleashed a powerful sword strike, sword energy shooting out continuously, sweeping away countless evil spirits, with the only sword capable of splitting mountains and rivers. Su-yun watched in amazement from below. This was once the pinnacle of sword cultivation in the Liu-yun sect. He immediately used the Hanyan sword to block the man's attack. The man coldly ordered, "Ignorant brat, if you want to keep your life, leave quickly." Su-yun gritted his teeth and struggled to defend. The man's power was overwhelming, and without the Hun Yuan sword embryo, he definitely couldn't withstand it. The man's eyes blazed red as he condensed spiritual power into two fingers, preparing a fierce strike. A talisman resisted a massive surge of spiritual power directed straight at Su-yun, causing a terrifying explosion. When the dust settled, Su-yun was unharmed, sitting on the ground. He immediately focused on using the Hanyan sword to block the following waves of spiritual power. Can't go, can't stay. The thin strands of spiritual power sliced through his body like knives, leaving countless small wounds. Since coming to this world, I've always been bullied. Even stray cats dare to look down on me. Su-yun gritted his teeth, holding the Hanyan sword tightly. Every day in my dreams, I hope for a chance to fight back. Now I must seize this opportunity. His face filled with determination. I want to live. I want to be the one on top. Su-yun gathered all his strength to repel the spiritual power. A blinding light suddenly appeared, and the mysterious man watched from above. Su-yun sighed in frustration. Could it be that I struck him too hard and killed him? I thought this time someone would inherit my power. The man turned around, his face full of helplessness. This brat's talent isn't bad, but maybe I was too harsh. Next time I must hold back my strength. Suddenly he was startled to see the smoke clearing to reveal Su-yun struggling to defend himself. The man laughed proudly. The brat is very persistent. He observed Su-yun and smiled. Only those with firm minds can reach the peak of the sword path. Then he raised his hand and slowly disappeared. I'm leaving now. My lingering soul has existed for 100 years, and I finally found a successor. Su-yun collapsed from exhaustion. Upon waking, Su-yun heard a voice in his mind. Lucky brat, the Great River Sword technique has 12 levels in total. Focus on learning and you will surely reach the realm of myriad techniques. Su-yun slowly sat up. Before him lay a skeleton and 2 sword manuals on the table. The Pure Origin Sword technique is a top sword art, but unfortunately has only the first 5 levels. The rest probably lie in the southern wilderness. The mysterious man advised, remember these 2 sword manuals cannot be practiced at the same time. Choose based on your mind. Ignoring the advice, Su-yun grabbed both manuals and smiled. Children choose one, I take both. 4 days later, the man anxiously asked 2 disciples, have you found Ye Su-yun yet? Elder, we have searched the entire sect. Just then a cheerful humming came from afar. Today is a good day. Su-yun returned calmly, surprising everyone. Ye Su-yun is here. Has this brat become more handsome? But something still feels off. The man was Liu Shangbing, an elder external to the Liu-yun sect. Liu Shangbing asked, Yes, Su-yun, where have you been these past few days? At that moment in Yunshao Pavilion during the sect meeting, someone saw Su-yun arrive and happily said, Junior brother Ye Su-yun. Seeing him, they were quite surprised. Duan Heng. Senior brother Duan, junior brother Ye, we finally meet. Duan Heng, an inner disciple of the Liu-yun sect, said, The day you saved me, I never had the chance to thank you directly. Just do it, senior brother, no need to mention it. Gushande, head of the Liu-yun sect, immediately stood and asked him, Are you Ye Su-yun? The pressure emanating from him made Su-yun involuntarily step back. The aura was too strong. Su-van immediately clasped his hands and reported with difficulty, Disciple Diep, So-van pays respects to the sect leader. Then Ko Hien-duk stopped his imposing aura making. So-van feel a bit confused. Really not bad, quite outstanding among the outer disciples. 3 days later was the big internal sect competition. Don't disappoint me. Seeing So-van confused, Liu Xiongben explained, the sect leader wants to select you from the outer disciples to entrust an important task 3 days from now. The sect leader intends to choose you among the outer disciples to entrust an important mission. Dorn Juan has recommended you. Sovan, looking excited, quickly thanked Kohian Duke and Don Juan. Yes, thank you, sect leader. Thank you, senior brother, Don Juan. Don Juan and Sovan stepped back first. Yes. As the two retreated outside, Kohian Duke asked Liu Shuangbin about who killed the disciple from Lu Duongson and what the investigation revealed. He turned to answer, still no leads found, but recent investigations show Shich Kui sect has mobilized a lot of manpower possibly related. Continue investigating and keep an eye on Shich Kui sect. Yes. On the water surface, a stone was being thrown far. So Van was using all his strength to throw it, his face serious. I must perform well in the internal sect competition. If I become an internal disciple, I could access opportunities within the Thienla Shao cave. In 4 days, I've already practiced the Daiha sword technique to the 3rd perfected level. Then Nguyen sword technique has reached the minor success level 2. My realm has also advanced to the 8th level of non-Nguyen. Cultivation indeed still relies on the support of elixirs and circumstances. He smiled, recalling past events, and also found a Van Hoa sword technique manual and a broken compass of unknown use. So Van threw the stone with all his might, but feared it still wouldn't be enough. The stone was thrown far when suddenly something rushed towards So Van at a tremendous speed. So Van sensed it and turned around. A mysterious voice sounded surprising. So Van, "Not bad, not bad." "Who are you, Pektan?" An old mysterious man sitting on a tree observed. So Van and smiled. "Kid, I'm not mistaken." A notification appeared. Ancestor Dangbon, Realm 1 FAP 8th level. You have a righteous aura difficult for evil energy to approach. Noble commoner male, very poor luck with women. A fated artifact like the Godson Sword Immortal turns out to be a predecessor of Luvan sect. System notification host has received a purple fate mark. Deep So Van is favored by a benefactor. Just as things began to improve, he was ambushed, ultimately falling down the cliff, bones shattered. Another purple fate mark sadly still couldn't escape death. So Van looked at Ancestor Dungban on the tree and clasped his hands. "Benefactor, could it be you before me? What guidance do you have?" Senior Ancestor Dangban stroked his beard and laughed loudly. "No wonder you received the Ho Nguyen sword tie, truly a talent worth nurturing." "I'm not mistaken." Then he threw a manual of the 7 mysteries sword technique. So Van quickly caught it. Ancestor Dangban observed So Van for a moment, then remarked, making him grateful, "I see your vitality is stagnating. This sword manual will help. Take it and practice." "Thank you, Senior." Ancestor Dangban waved his hand. "No thanks needed. I'm in the Vu Pavilion team. Come find me when you have free time." This old man is getting old and enjoys chatting with young people. So Van happily replied, "Senior, rest assured. If I have time, I will come to pay respects." Watching Sovan's figure gradually disappear, Ancestor Dangban whispered, "This kid has some spirit." After many years, the sword techniques left by that old man finally have an heir. 3 days later, the internal sect competition took place, the atmosphere lively. 2 men whispered and discussed, "I heard the rewards this time are generous. The first place winner can receive a degree of God elixir and choose any book from the library. Moreover, an anonymous elder will select a true disciple from the outer disciples who win." So Van sighed, no wonder so many people registered and lined up almost to death. From behind, a hand slapped strongly on Sovan's shoulder. "Hey, kid!" General, a large man threatened, "Get out of the way and leave room for me." Sovan refused to back down. "Get to the end of the line." He angrily gritted his teeth and cursed, "What did you say? Tired of living yet?" Before he finished, Sovan punched him, sending him flying. Sovan cursed silently. "I hate line cutters the most." He landed heavily, surprising everyone. "Isn't this Hathuki the standout this year?" People around were confused. "What just happened? I can't see clearly." "Hathuki was defeated in 1 move. Isn't he a beginner in the outer sect?" "That was fast." Kauchibin from Nyoktun and Dieptin happened to witness the scene and couldn't help but admire the strength of this kid. "Not bad." "Dieptin, what do you think of this kid?" "Hathuki was too foolish to be taken advantage of by his opening. If it were me, I'd defeat him in just 2 moves." The duel drum sounded. Announcement. This intersect duel will be divided into 4 rounds. The first round is a free-for-all. All registered disciples stand on the arena. Anyone knocked out of the arena will be eliminated. The last 30 standing will be selected. So Van stands firm, adopting a stance no one can approach. As the announcement ends, So Van thinks silently. The first round is over. The ones advancing Dayep Tien from New Octane. The first round filtered out most of the weaker disciples. Recently, his strength has increased rapidly. Finally, he can feel a bit of the sensation of a Viet transcender arriving here. The second round of the competition is a direct one-on-one format. The winner will move on to the selection round to choose the top 12 candidates. The loser will be immediately eliminated. Get ready, you're about to be eliminated. A man charged at Sovan, but was quickly defeated by a lightning-fast strike from him. The third round is also the final deciding round among outer sect disciples to select the top 6 strongest. Sovan stretches in size. I didn't expect to get to the third round so easily. 2 men below whisper, Bak Truk Ten. Why is he here? This is the 8th time already. Sovan's next opponent is Bak Truk Than. This guy seems to fight harder the more he loses. Sovan watches Bak Truk Than with curiosity. After 8 failures, he still hasn't made it into the inner sect. What's going on? Looking at his appearance, Sovan cries when reading Bak Truk Than's status board. How tragic. Bak Truk Than's realm is UN High Level 1. Unluckiness covers him all over. Bak Truk Than is the reincarnation of the black misfortune god. Anyone who stays near him too long will encounter bad luck, even decline for 1,000 years. The outcome is that despite enduring bad luck for 1,000 years, he later accumulates brilliant achievements. So Van sobs miserably. He's also an unlucky guy like me. He clasps his hands, preparing to enter the match. Senior brother Bak is too modest. Bak Truk Than quickly responds. Junior brother Diep, I'll start now. So Van thinks carefully. Although unlucky, his cultivation level is not low. Cannot be underestimated. Bak Truk Than throws the dice. The stake is all or nothing. The dice quickly swell and fall straight to Sovan's position. He glances and quickly counters with a powerful strike, the celestial returning heavy strike. Sovan's lightning fast blows smash Bak Truk Than's giant dice. The audience around can't help but marvel at his strength. This deep Sovan is really strong. One punch, one hit. He's the dark horse of the outer sect. Hearing this, Bak Truk Than laughs coldly. He quickly approaches Sovan. Junior brother Diep, that was just an appetizer. Now is the main course. Speaking as he approaches, but unfortunately trips on a stone. Step by step, he falls out of the arena. Bak Truk Than cries in frustration, which surprises. Sovan, so much he's speechless. Clothrobe Diep, Sovan wins. Kohyenduk watches the match and laughs loudly. This year's inner sect duel is much more interesting than last year. He stands high with a mysterious person watching down. Truly, youth is talented. He praises Dieptine, but the mysterious person denies. Look here, how about this one? She's a contender to become the top of the inner sect. Proud and ambitious, but unfortunately, her strength doesn't match her ambition. Hyenduk then turns to Tunyok Tun. So what do you think about him? Too orthodox, the path of cultivation cannot be too rigid. Kohyenduk sighs. These two already have very good talent. If you're not satisfied with either Chief Elder Hong Tu fears there's no one here who can please you. The mysterious person removes her veil. Her disdainful beauty is none other than Hong Tu. She looks toward Diep, Sovan, and evaluates. Not necessarily. I think that kid isn't bad. The third round of match 6 versus begins, and Sovan's first opponent is Dieptien. Hey, you're Diep, Sovan, right? Dieptien said arrogantly, but Sovan didn't bother to pay attention. You're lucky to have made it this far, but meeting me means your luck ends here. The crowd praised her, making her even more confident. Dieptien is the strongest at the outer sect already at the 4th realm of Yuan High. This time the dark horse will definitely lose. Did you hear that? Dieptien gave a twisted smile. I advise you to admit defeat early. Save yourself from losing face. Got it. Sovan tossed aside the piece of cloth in his hand and stood up to reply to Dieptien. Luck, I've never had that before. Hearing this, Dieptien sneered. She then controlled her sword to fly up, unleashing Viet New sword technique, and directed them towards Sovan. Go! Sovan quickly blocked the 2 opposing forces of purple and gold. You use your sword to block Dieptien's Viet New sword technique. Sovan then used the 7 mystery sword technique to push back the attack, surprising Dieptien. What? Sovan gritted his teeth and resisted. Why is the UN force in my body suddenly fluctuating uncontrollably? Could it be because I used the 7 mystery sword technique, taking advantage of Sovan's distraction? Dieptien lunged quickly toward him. You think you can beat me just by luckily blocking 1 strike? Let me see how far your luck can get you. Deep Tien's eyes turned blood red as she brought her sword down swiftly. So Van closed his eyes using the 7 Mysteries sword technique to counterattack. So Van quickly opened his eyes, his gaze serious. He didn't back down, but charged straight at Deep Tien, surprising everyone around. Deep Tien's sword is a mid-grade spiritual weapon. How could a fragile wooden sword stand against it? Many wondered. However, So Van proved otherwise by bursting with power and using the wooden sword to block Deep Tien's attack. Deep Tien stood with her mouth agape, unable to believe the deep UN force within So Van. The powerful clash caused the wooden sword to crack and shatter into pieces, astonishing everyone even more. "What's going on is that So Van's sword," someone exclaimed. Deep Tien's sword pierced right at So Van, but when she saw him fall, she only sneered coldly and withdrew her sword. "With your strength, making it into the top 12 of the outer sect is already lucky enough. Want to enter the inner sect, don't even dream about it," Deep Tien arrogantly declared. The whispers around made her even more complacent. As expected, So Van is still a bit weak. After all, Deep Tien is the strongest in the outer sect. Doing this well is already impressive. Hong Tu pursed his lips. "Ko Hien Duck, since when did your eyes get so blurry?" Just now, So Van used the 7 Mysteries sword technique, a skill all martial artists under the mountain know. Even if slightly modified, it can't fool me. His weapon was just a simple wooden sword. Yet Deep Tien still couldn't seriously injure him. So Van is definitely hiding his true strength. Hong Tu nodded, looking at So Van, who was smiling brightly. "Maybe he hasn't used 70% of his strength yet. You're a bit too confident already." Deep Tien was surprised to see So Van stand up unharmed. "How could he not be hurt?" she muttered. So Van scratched his head in complaint, blaming the old man. While dueling Deep Tien, suddenly a voice echoed in, So Van's mind in a hoarse tone. "Kid, in just 3 short days, you've trained the 7 Mysteries sword technique this well. Very good. If you want to train swordsmanship with me, you must do 2 things, enter the inner sect and rank first among those who enter." That person even added a condition: you are not allowed to apprentice under any elder of the Luvan sect. So Van was distracted by this and got hit by Deep Tien. So Van stood up and smiled to himself, "But now I have the inheritance of the nameless sword. If I apprenticed under an elder of the Luvan sect, it would definitely be exposed. If Dang Banto is my destined benefactor with a purple fate, then I'll have to bet on him. Sorry, I originally planned to modestly take the 6th spot to enter the inner sect." So Van's eyes were full of determination. "This time I won't let you win." Deep Tien looked at So Van with a hesitant gaze. "Relying only on your sword, you no longer have anything to fight me with." So Van provoked Deep Tien's anger, and Deep Tien said, "Although you have talent, you cannot escape the shadow of your family background. With your clan's background, even a sow could fly with a bit of talent." Deep Tien flew into a rage, biting her fingertip until it bled, saying, You. She snarled, drawing a line on her sword. "You want to die?" Deep Tien rushed swiftly towards So Van, her sword strike slashing straight at him. At that moment, So Van pulled out a strange sword that surprised Deep Tien and pushed her back. "Where did he get that?" she muttered, looking at her injured hands. "How is this possible?" Deep Tien couldn't believe her eyes. So Van's aura now resembled a cruel giant, completely different from before. So Van raised his sword high, ready to end the match. "Deep Tien, you're too weak." He swung hard beams of energy, shooting rapidly toward Deep Tien, knocking her out of the arena. Everyone around gasped, unable to believe their eyes. Defeated with 1 move. This kid just joined the outer sect a few days ago, but his progress is insanely fast. A referee's voice rang out. "Match results, Deep So Van. Wins match 2, Cao Chi Bin wins match 3, Tu Nuoc Ten wins match 4. Drawing lots to change battlefields. Cao Chi Bin picked the lot with. So Van's name smiled brightly and declared, "Referee, I concede this match. If Deep Tien can't beat him, then I definitely can't. Anyway, I've made it to the top 6 strongest order, doesn't matter." Cao Chi Bin winked at So Van, giving him goosebumps. 6 intense matches between intersect disciples took place with many surprises and drama. The referee announced the results of the 3rd round. Cao Chi Bin conceded ranking 4th. Tu Nuoc Tan couldn't defeat Deep So Van, ranking 3rd. Deep Tien ranked 2nd with impressive overall strength. Deep So Van took 1st place in the final competition round. Applying the substitution system for intersect disciples' failure means expulsion from the intersect, while the winner officially joins the intersect disciples entering the arena, including Zhao Ngoc Long, the elder brother of Zhao Ngoc Ho. Zhao Ngoc Long waved to his junior brothers and sisters, receiving enthusiastic cheers from the crowd. "Intersect, Long Bro, keep it up. Long Bro, I love you. Long Bro, you're the best." The cheers drowned out Zhao Ngakho's words, so they didn't reach Zhao Ngaklong. Zhao Ngaklong confidently replied, "Tiger bro, don't worry. Big bro will avenge you." Zhao Ngakho was helpless. "It's over." Zhao Ngaklong chose Diepso Van as his opponent and announced, "I'm here to take all your soft weapons to avenge my little bro." So Van pretended to be scared. "Oh, I'm so scared," which made Zhao Ngaklong angry. "Don't drink the offered wine, then you'll drink the penalty wine." Zhao Ngaklong charged in to attack, but Diep Sovan lightly dodged, dealing with him without using a sword. Diep Sovan punched hard, breaking Zhao Ngaklong's attack with Liu Yun fist. Zhao Ngaklong couldn't believe his eyes. How is Diep Sovan so strong? Diep Sovan continued attacking, severely injuring Zhao Ngaklong. Thiet's son cried out. Zhao Ngaklong was thrown far away, thinking to himself, "It's over." As Zhao Ngaklong was about to fall deep, Sovan grabbed his leg. Zhao Ngaklong thought he was being saved, but Diep Sovan threw him hard to the ground, slamming him repeatedly. The referee hurried to intervene. "Diep Sovan, that's enough, you've knocked him out." Sovan innocently asked, "But he hasn't said he concedes yet, why keep hitting?" Zhao Ngaklong, bruised, replied, "I concede." Everyone around felt pity for his fate. Finally, the intersect competition ended, and 4 disciples officially joined the intersect. Besides rich rewards, there was a special prize. Kohinduk and Elder Hongtao appeared, impressing everyone. Hongtu stepped in front of Diep Sovan and proposed, "Diep Sovan, do you agree to apprentice under me and join Hafong? You won't lose out at all. Moreover, Then Hafong has many female disciples, making it easy to find you a match." The disciples murmured, "Then Hafong only accepts female disciples, but legend says they're breaking tradition to accept a male disciple." Diep Sovan politely declined. Elder Hongtu, "I'm sorry, I only want to be an intersect disciple, not a direct disciple." Kaochiban Jieptian and Tunyok Tun were all surprised to hear this. "What? Yiha, sit down." He refused again. Hongtu couldn't believe her ears. Meanwhile, Kohinduk beside her showed disapproval. "What did you say? Don't know if it's good or bad." Elder Hongtu hadn't accepted disciples for many years, and looking at you is your chance. Suovan refused the sect leader again. "I really have no intention of becoming a true disciple." Hongtu shook her head and turned away. "Fine, a rare person who doesn't want to be my disciple is quite interesting." She emphasized each word. "If he doesn't want to, just let him be an inner disciple." Suovan was furious, puffing his cheeks. "Who told me to agree with that old stinker?" Watching Hongtu's figure fade away, Suovan thought, "Refusing Hongtu wasn't just because I promised not to accept any elder as master. There's another important reason." Elder Hongtu's notice board appeared. Hongtu at the yin-yang realm. Fate of beauty and tragedy. Lifespan nearing the end, breakthrough chance tripled. Lifespan can vanish in an instant, the result of over 100 years of cultivation seeking the way, but ultimately failing to ascend at Thanha Peak. Recent turning point, lost a piece of jade at Thanha Peak in the library tower. Suovan cried loudly, "Elder, you must take responsibility for your disciple." Suovan clung to Elder Dangbanto, throwing a tantrum. "You topped the list for entering the inner sect. The sect has given you a divine pill and selected a scripture. What are you crying about?" Suovan looked at him with dissatisfaction. "Isn't it because of the elder? The disciple has just offended Elder Hongtu. Thanha Peak is the place which male disciple in Luvan sect doesn't want to go there." Dangbanto helplessly nodded. "All right, stop crying. I guarantee within a month I'll help you reach the Yuan High Realm." His words were sincere. He stood up. "Of course it's real. If I made you refuse Hongtu, I will teach you." Dangbanto turned and left. "Let's go." He went to the 3rd floor to choose a secret scripture, and what else he could find depended on your fate. Suovan's eyes immediately brightened. The 3rd floor contains secret scriptures reserved only for true disciples. This time it's a bit bigger. Half an hour later, Suovan was still fumbling, selecting books, making Dangban to sigh. "I really don't get it. How can one secret scripture be so hard to find?" Half an hour passed and he still hadn't finished. Suovan looked at the cultivation method book in front of him, hesitating. "I'm not interested in strike or palm techniques. These body techniques suit me better, but there are too many varieties. It's hard to choose a path." Hearing this, Dangbanto felt satisfied. Not bad, no ambition for sword techniques, but knows to be humble and compensate for weaknesses. Talent can be trained. I have chosen a book for you from the shelf. It is the Sung Hu Kui Fap 9 volumes of Life Wind Illusion, Shadow Movement, a top-grade body technique. Ordinary people are very difficult to control and hard to fully grasp. So Vaughn happily accepted. Don't worry, Elder. I will learn gradually. So Vaughn approached Dung Bun To with a curious expression and asked, by the way, Elder, are you close with Elder Hong Tu? You could say we're close. That was many years ago. What are you scheming, boy? So Vaughn smiled kindly. I just offended Elder Hong Tu and want to make some amends. I wonder if Elder Dang has any ideas. Dung Bun To recalled Hong Tu's image. She truly still has some lingering feelings. Although she looks cold, she treats her disciples very well. It's just a pity her disciples' fate wasn't good and met with disaster. Hearing Dung Bun To, So Vaughn could only sigh. Have they all died then? No wonder Elder Hong Tu is so sensitive about her disciples. Over the years, she has taken very few disciples, but with her destiny, it's truly difficult for her to handle ordinary people. Hearing this, Sovan was startled and remembered the status board of Tan Tik Nhan. What she is Luvan's ancestor, if I recall correctly. Later, Tan Tik Nhan will join the sect as a disciple of Luvan's ancestor. Sovan scratched his chin, coming up with an idea. If I can let them meet earlier, it would be a great honor for Luvan's ancestor, and surely she won't cause me trouble anymore. Scene shifts to Bak Diep Fong, the residence of the female disciples of Luvan sect. In a small courtyard, a group of people are bullying Tan Tik Nhan. My body isn't well. You stand in for me tomorrow. Tan Tik Nhan looked innocently at Senior Sis Chim. Senior Sis Chim, you've stood in for me many times already. If the elders find out, you'll definitely be punished. Senior Sis Chim slyly replied, the elders have been busy handling the internal sect competition these days. They don't have time to manage us. That's right. I even went to watch the internal sect competition. You guys don't know, it's really spectacular. Despite Tan Tik Nhan turning away sadly, they continued enthusiastically. The sad thing is there is a senior brother named Diep So Van who not only leads the internal sect competition, but also rejected Elder Than Hafong's wish to take him as a disciple. He's truly handsome. No wonder senior brother Diep So Van is so impressive. Hearing this, Senior Sis Chim looked at Tan Tik Nhan with disdain. Tan Tik Nhan, do you really think you can even call senior brother Diep by his given name? Do you want to climb up and lean on senior brother Diep? He is an existence like a sword cutting through the sky. Don't be a toad trying to eat a swan. Tan Tik Nhan retorted, senior brother Diep So Van isn't as shallow as you think. He has his reasons for not taking a direct disciple. They laughed loudly, mocking her. We know more than you do. I advise you to know your place. Your whole life is destined to be a janitor. So stop daydreaming. Suddenly a voice rang out, making Tan Tik Nhan extremely happy. May I ask if Tan Tik Nhan is here? Both of them shouted in unison, it's senior brother Diep So Van. So Van entered the small courtyard with a confident look, causing everyone to cheer. Senior Sis Chim stepped in front of So Van acting coy. Senior brother, are you here to find me? So Van was stunned and asked back, who are you? Then So Van smiled brightly, taking Tan Tik Nhan's hand. Sorry to trouble you. I came to find Tan Tik Nhan because I need her help. She led her forward. Senior Sis Chim stepped out to block them. Senior brother Diep today, Tan Junior sister, still has to stand guard. Where do you intend to take her? So Van coldly warned, do I need to tell you where I'm taking her? It struck the three like lightning on a clear day. So Van pulled Tan Tik Nhan away forcefully, making it hard for her to keep up. Tan Tik Nhan shyly, senior brother, please let me go. Before So Van noticed something was wrong and let go. Sorry, junior sister Tan. Really sorry. It's okay. Thank you for rescuing me. I wonder what you wanted to find me for. So Van looked up at the announcement board, overjoyed. Recently, the new Tan Tik Nhan reached the 7th level of the decaying body realm. Her divine emperor bloodline just awakened and restored its imperial power. Thankfully, she returned, gaining the Jade insight from Luvan's ancestor, and was accepted as an official sect disciple. Indeed, after that day, she broke through to the Saint Body realm, and her bloodline awakened. So Van immediately put on a sad expression, making Tan Tik Nhan nod repeatedly. Junior sister Tan knows about this. I refused Elder Hong too. Now I've offended her. If I can't find someone to take her place as my disciple, I'll be in big trouble. Hearing this, Tan Tik Nhan was startled and quickly refused. The shirt definitely won't work. So Van placed a hand on her shoulder, pleading, just think of it as helping me once. Even if we fail, at least we tried. In Luvan's sect, I don't know any other female disciples and no one agrees to rebel with me. After a moment of thought, Tan Tik Nhan nodded. If I don't agree, senior brother surely won't find anyone else. By then, if Elder Hong 2 gets angry, your whole life is basically over. Fine, I'll go with you. So Van immediately took out a jade piece and instructed, when you meet Elder Hong 2, remember to take out this scrap jade. She lost it a long time ago and is still searching for it. Senior brother, where did you get this jade piece? So Van planned to lie that he found it, but suddenly recalled the bet with Bok Truk Than and just smiled wryly. Actually, I won it from that unlucky guy Bok Truk Than at the gate of Than Ha Peak. So Van shouted loudly, inner disciple Diep. So Van requests an audience with Elder Hong 2. His shout made Tan Tich Nan hurriedly stop him. Senior brother, don't be so loud. I've come to bring you a great opportunity. Please come out and see. I guarantee you'll like it. Suddenly, a beam of light shot straight at Sovan, but luckily he dodged. Insolent brat speaking arrogantly. You're standing before Elder Than Ha sect Thuong Quan Wien. Who gave you permission to shout like that in front of Than Ha Peak? Seeing things getting complicated, Sovan quickly raised his hand to explain. Elder Thuong Quan's disciple does not mean any disrespect. I previously upset Elder Hong 2 at Than Ha Peak, so now I want to make amends. But the explanation only made her angrier. She strode towards Sovan to make amends. You bring a female disciple in a low realm to Than Ha Peak. Do you think I'm lacking in trash? Seeing the beam of light approach. Sovan, he could only mutter to himself, are you crazy? Indeed, older women without partners are truly cruel. Just then a sword appeared. Thuong Quan Wien's strike was blocked. A figure quickly stepped forward to stop the elder. Wait. Sovan was surprised to recognize Don Juan. Doan Juan, senior brother, Thuong Quan Dien, still angry, shouted loudly, Doan Juan, what do you want to do? Doan Juan respectfully bowed. Disciple respectfully greets Elder Tui Diep. Junior brother previously offended Elder Hong 2, but now he sincerely wants to apologize. Please grant him a chance. But before he finished, Don Juan was struck and thrown far away. Thuong Quan Wien gritted her teeth. Who do you think you are to lecture me? At this moment, Hong 2 appeared and stopped Thuong Quan Wien. Uyen Yi, stop now. Go disciple Diep Sovan. I also want to see whom you brought to Hong 2. Frowning at Sovan, if you're incompetent, I'll make sure you regret it. Sovan confidently pushed Tan Tich Nan forward. It's her. No one in Leuven sect is more worthy to be your disciple than her. Tan Tich Nan worriedly said, Senior brother, what if I... Don't be afraid, I trust you. Show the jade horn. Tan Tich Nan then took out the jade piece. Elder Hong 2, this is the item I found at Than Ha Peak long ago. I want to return it to its original owner now. Hong 2 seemed enlightened, repeating, so that's how it is. She and Thuong Quan Wien landed in front of Tan Tich Nan and Sovan. Hong 2 lifted Tan Tich Nan's chin, staring intently at her, then gave orders. Uyen Yi, you all step back first. Yes, I have something to discuss with Tan Tich Nan and Diep Sovan. Thuong Quan Wien, though, not understanding, still obeyed. However, she still felt uneasy and tried to stop the elder. I think this female disciple is ordinary. I'm sure Diep Sovan is bluffing. Hong 2 replied gently, Uyen Yi, you're too impatient. Step back now. Hong 2 looked at Tan Tich Nan with a gentle gaze. Though just awakened, it was clear she was outstanding. She will surely become famous throughout the cultivation world. She revealed Tan Tich Nan's talent, surprising her. She's not an ordinary trash, but a descendant of the bloodline of the ancient divine emperor, a legendary peak. Then Hong 2 turned to Sovan, boy, you're too kind-hearted for no reason. Speak, what do you want to ask of me, truly worthy of being Elder Hong 2? Please help me. Sovan respectfully clasped his hands and bowed his head. If in the future the disciple encounters danger, I hope you can save his life once. Hong 2 smiled faintly, glancing at Sovan. This kid is really afraid of dying, huh? Even Yuan Ni didn't recognize the bloodline inheritance, yet Diep Sovan saw through this kid. Interesting. Saying that, Hong 2 turned and walked away, tossing something to Sovan as he went. I agree with you. This golden leaf can revive the dead. Take it. Also, I will announce outside that you two will join my Than Ha Fong. Just come here once in a while. I won't interfere beyond that. The golden leaf fell into Suvan's hand. At that moment, Sovan burst into tears, endlessly thanking Hong 2. Thank you, Elder Hong 2. You are truly beautiful and kind. May you live 1,000 years. At that moment, Doan Horn returned as well. Deep junior brother, luckily you were here just now. Otherwise, I fear I couldn't have blocked the technique of Elder Thuong Quan. Don Juan smiled and placed his hand warmly on Suvan's shoulder. It's nothing, I just happened to pass by. I watched your inner sect duel with Diep Tien junior brother. You've progressed quickly compared to when I first met you. Then Don Juan led Suvan away, making it impossible for him to refuse. Deep junior brother has not been in the inner sect long. How about you train with me? I can help you quickly master the inner sect techniques. Don Juan's enthusiasm made Suvan unable to refuse. All right, I'll trouble you from now on. A few days later under the night sky, Suvan lay on the grass feeling discouraged. Why hasn't senior brother Don come today? He's always punctual. Could something have delayed him? Suvan lay thinking about his cultivation condition lately. Although I've been training with Tangban, my cultivation is still stuck at Nunwin level 9. Tangban said to Breakthrough. I need real combat, but where would I get a chance to fight? Suddenly, 2 disciples ran past, catching Suvan's attention. Kim Kwang Namdung San is under attack. I heard quite a few disciples have died there. 8 great elders have also arrived at Wuduang Sun to stabilize the situation. Some disciples returned injured. The elders summoned us to go there for support. Let's hurry. Suvan jumped up with worry. Could it be that senior brother Don is already at Wuduang Sun? Deep junior brother Don Juan appeared with a face full of wounds. Senior brother Don, you're injured. It's nothing serious, already treated at the mountain gate. I thought you might still be waiting, so I came here. Don Juan smiled and handed over a jade pendant. Here I know you're preparing to break through your realm soon. This is the original Yang Jade I brought back from Wuduang Sun. It nourishes spiritual energy, perfect for your breakthrough to the Yuan High realm. It's not easy, you can't afford to be careless. Suvan covered his face, eyes shining at senior brother Duong. You're too good to me. As they talked, a shadow flashed by. Junior brother, remember that no one outside can know about the original Yang Jade. Otherwise, the elder will definitely look for me, which would cause trouble. Understood. Suvan immediately told Don Juan to go ahead. Senior brother, if you're injured, go rest first. I'll go check. It was already morning. Suvan chased after him, grinding his teeth in frustration but losing the trail. Who exactly was watching me last night? Suddenly there was a noise from the bushes ahead. Suvan concentrated, a sly smile spreading across his lips. I chased you all night, and finally I caught you. Suvan's eyes flashed as he dashed toward the bushes, shouting, Got you! A counterpunch caught Suvan off guard, unable to dodge in time. Hanny is actually Tu Bin Tin. Looking at the status board, it showed Tu Bin Tin Tongyu Realm 9th level title, Heaven's Favorite. Recent event assigned by the sect to descend the mountain for training, discovered a sneaky figure on Mount Wong Sun, and seized a mysterious book from him. Deep Suvan, were you trying to sneak attack me? He asked. Suvan sat up, clutching his bleeding nose filled with resentment. Great, here we go. Causing trouble again. So it turns out to be senior brother Tio. A misunderstanding. Diep Tio Bintin observed Sovun with surprise. This kid hasn't been seen for a few days and already broke through from Nap Nguyen, 1st level to 9th level. A misunderstanding. This is the back mountain of Von Tu Pavilion. No trespassing allowed, get lost. Just then, Elder Hienduk appeared behind Tu Bintin. Ajip Sovun. Sovun immediately bowed. Disciple pays respects to sect leader Elder Hienduk. The question made Sovun rack his brain to figure out a response, finally saying, You also entered Thanha Peak. Hehe, right. Today, Master told the disciple to come here. He said the best way to break through realms is to go down the mountain to train and face real combat. Elder Hienduk glanced at Tu Bintin. If that's the case, Bintin, take Deep Sovun with you to complete the mission at the Tran family estate. Sect Master, the mission at the Tran family, I can handle it alone. Sovun pretended to be pitiful and acted weak. Sect leader disciple shouldn't trouble senior brother too. Senior brother's strength is powerful. I am weak and afraid I would slow him down. Elder Hienduk smiled softly. Your strength is weak, but even this Luvun sect can hardly find a second person who breaks through realms as fast as you. Rest assured, learning from Bintin will be very beneficial for you. After speaking, Elder Hienduk turned and left. Decide on that, then I'll go ahead, disciple. I will follow your advice and definitely learn carefully from senior brother too. Sovun approached Tu Bintin with a smug look that left him stunned and speechless. Senior brother then, let's go. At the Tran family estate, long protected by the Luvun sect, they have enjoyed peace and prosperity for generations. Every 15 years, the Tran family holds a grand ancestral ceremony, and the Luvun sect always sends people to protect it. Sovun trailed behind Tu Bintin, nagging continuously and irritating him. Senior brother, this place is so lively. Is there a temple festival going on? Senior brother, what exactly is this mission about? Is it dangerous? Senior brother Tu Bintin frowned and warned, Shut up! This mission is to ensure the Tran family's grand ancestral ceremony goes smoothly. Don't ask any more and watch your tongue. Tran Chi Bao to Trun family steward ran over with a flattering expression. Amitabha, senior brother Tiu. Why did you come personally? Tiu Bin Tian sighed. Recently, there have been many issues with the Luvan sect, so they could only assign this to me. So that's it? Tran Chi Bao then inquired about Sovan. Senior brother Tu Bin Tian looked annoyed and glanced at Sovan. A stubborn little sect disciple wanting to go down the mountain, that's all. I have matters to discuss with the Tran family head. You don't come along. Sovan pouted in response, but cursed inwardly. Yes, senior brother, what arrogance, sooner or later I will overthrow you. Sovan was polite to Tran Chi Bao, but he showed disdain. Butler Tran, please take me on a tour. Recently, there's been a lot going on at home. I'm afraid I don't have time to pay attention to idle people, so feel free to go by yourself. Tran Chi Bao turned and left, revealing his true nature. Just a little shrimp, ignore him. Looks like this guy is afraid of the strong bullying the weak. Seeing Tu Bin Tian dislike me, he wants to flatter him by putting on airs. So Van didn't bother to care, turned and left. All right, I won't bother Butler Tran anymore. I'll just take a stroll by myself. Suddenly, a stone came flying toward Sovan from somewhere, and he quickly recognized it and exclaimed, "Who threw that stone?" Sovan pretended to sit down, so the stone flew past him. Oh, my shoes got dirty again. The stone hit Tran Chi Bao's head, making Sovan smug. Whose naughty kid is this daring to do such a rude thing? The servants immediately gathered, worried for him. Butler Tran, are you all right? Quick, help Butler Tran up. Who's the blind guy daring to hurt me? Seeing Sovan preparing to leave, Tran Chi Bao blamed him. It's definitely that brat getting revenge on me. An unknown nobody dares to act high and mighty with me. Someone beat him up. The servants immediately blocked Sovan's path. Yes, brat, stop right there. Sovan glanced at Tran Chi Bao and asked, Butler Tran, what do you mean? Tran Chi Bao angrily trembled. Stop pretending. Today I'll teach you the walls in place of Luban's sect. He ordered the servants to attack me. Yes. The two sides fought fiercely, but Tran Chi Bao still thought Sovan would get beaten badly. A shrimp from Luban's sect dares to ride on my head. After a while, Sovan was unharmed. He stepped on Tran Chi Bao's face. You all started this. Sovan frowned, looking at Tran Chi Bao in pain, unable to distinguish right from wrong, who had just been hit. Is this how the Tran family operates? Suddenly, a figure appeared trying to stop. Sovan, let go of Uncle Tran immediately. I am Tran Tin Yu Miss of the Tran family. If you don't let go, I'll call my father to kill you. Sovan turned back with a sly smile. Don't threaten me. If I'm not mistaken, you're the one who threw the stone, right? Tran Tin Yu arrogantly said. So what if it was me? This young lady can throw stones at whoever she wants. No one dares act high and mighty toward me. Let go of Uncle Tran, or I'll whip you hard. I won't be polite. Sovan remained calm and gently grabbed the whip's cord. Not polite to me. He lightly pulled his cord toward himself, catching Tran Tin Yu off guard and causing her to fall forward. Damn it. She blushed, thinking dark thoughts. He's about to. No, I'm still... But things didn't go as she thought. So Van quickly dodged, causing Tran Tin Yu to faceplant into the wall. You. She burst into tears. You're a bad person. I'll tell my father to kill you. At that moment, Tran Nam Fong, head of the Tran family, appeared with Tu Bin Tin and Duan Huan. What's going on here? Wah, father greets senior brother Diep. Senior brother Don is here too. Tran Nam Fong and others entered the main hall. He nodded. I understand now. Then he scolded Tran Tin Yu, but she still didn't admit fault. It's because father spoils me too much that I cause trouble everywhere. Her father hit her, and she still cries. Tran Nam Fong sighed, holding his face. Quiet, wasn't it you who caused trouble first? Then he blamed everything on Tran Chi Bao, you bastards. Senior brother Diep is a true disciple of Elder Than Ha Fong. How dare you provoke him recklessly? Someone drag him out and execute him. Tran Chi Bao could only cry, and kowtow. Please spare me, senior brother Diep. Please spare me, master. Spare my life. Spare my life. So Van stepped forward magnanimously to stop Tran Nam Fong. Master Tran, a light punishment is enough. I already fought back. If anyone disagrees, come and test your fists with me. Tran Nam Fong approached. Sorry. So Van, for making you so happy, like it's harvest season. Sorry for my carelessness. I hope senior brother Diep will be generous. I'm willing to compensate with 300 spirit stones. Please don't refuse. Then Tran Nam Fong turned to warn Tran Chi Bao, who was helping Tran Tin Yu up. Senior brother Diep is magnanimous and will not punish you. Go back to the woodshed and get to work. Take the young lady back to her room and don't leave the house for 5 days. As he left, Tran Tinyu didn't forget to glare warningly at Sovan. A servant hurried in to report, "No, it's bad. The master is in trouble." Tran Namfong immediately asked, "What's causing such panic?" The stealth guards of Amteo at Buivyung reported that a group of people are sneaking around, afraid it will affect the grand ancestral ceremony. Should we send someone to scout? Tran Namfong was surprised as if he couldn't believe his ears. What? Sovan looked at Tu Bintin in front of him and smiled slightly. The lamb's wool has started growing. Cut to a forest scene where Tu Bintin and Sovan are exploring together. Sovan hugged a villager. "What's here? It's too dark. If you're scared, then go home quickly. Don't get in my way." Sovan was sweating from fear. There were no sounds of birds or insects around, truly eerie. Who exactly are those sneaky people? Suddenly a branch fell, startling both of them. Sovan shouted, but Tu Bintin had already dashed off. "Something's wrong." Sovan and Tu Bintin quickly chased after the small thief in black clothes running ahead. Sovan was surprised the speed was too fast. He had to use the Sung Hu Kui technique to catch up. Sovan worriedly warned Tu Bintin, but he ignored it. "Senior brother, I think this person is deliberately leading us into a trap. Now I want to see what they can do." Tu Bintin immediately aimed his sword at the man in black. "Go." The tip of the sword grazed him, causing him to cry out in pain and fall to the ground. Tu Bintin stepped forward, pointing his sword at his neck. "Who exactly are you? If you don't speak, you'll die." The man in black smiled smugly. "You won't kill me." He rushed quickly toward Tu Bintin, catching him off guard. "This is a deadly move specially meant for you. Tu Bintin, you're about to die." Tu Bintin swung down, but it was only an illusion. "Just relying on you guys." Suddenly, a group of men in black appeared and then vanished, trying to use illusions to escape. Sovan finally caught up. "Senior brother Tu, why did you suddenly speed up without telling me? You better report back to Tran family's fortress. Warn them to watch out for an ambush by the Sheik Kui sect." Tu Bintin swung his sword, ready to run. "What?" Then he chased after. The black-clad man appeared from behind a tree, unexpectedly leaving behind an energy trail. Tu Bintin had fallen into our Kontin formation trap. "I'm afraid he'll chase the illusion to death." Sovan calmly replied, "Jik Kui sect, I'm afraid you won't be able to kill him. The soul talisman on you will eventually be taken by him." Sovan surprised the opponent by hitting the weak spot. "What did you say?" "How does this brat know I'm carrying a soul talisman?" Sovan smiled triumphantly. "So it really is on you." Then he immediately used the Sung Hu Kui technique to dash toward his opponent. "So now it's mine." Too fast. Sovan powerfully chopped off the opponent's arm, blood gushing everywhere. The man screamed in pain, knelt down, begging, "Please, master, spare my life. I will hand over the soul talisman. Please spare me." "Damn it, how is a Nap Nguyen level guy stronger than me at Nguyen high level?" Sovan looked at him coldly. "I'll spare you, but you have to tell me how to break the formation." The opponent trembled. I really don't know. My master is only responsible for guiding Tu Bintin into the Kon Tien formation and guarding here, waiting for the others to wipe out the Tran family's men." Before he could finish, Sovan ended his life. "Sorry, I can't spare you." Covering his mouth, Sovan showed clear discomfort. "Killing for the first time is really hard to accept, but if I didn't, he would report back and cause more trouble." Looking at the sealed, nameless cultivation manual, Sovan was surprised. "This soul talisman still can't be opened with my current cultivation? Never mind." Senior brother Tu was locked up. No one knew when he would escape. His screen showed nothing unusual. "It should be fine. We have to hurry back to Tran family's fortress to check the outside situation." Blood was spilled everywhere at Tran family's fortress. "Stay alert. Kill everyone who's not from Shik Kui sect." "Yes." Sovan secretly observed from behind. Unexpectedly, Shik Kui sect had taken the outer siege of Tran family's fortress. "Don't know how senior brother Inside is doing. Charging in straight is definitely no good. Have to sneak in." A shadow approached to greet. "You two brothers have worked hard." The two immediately stopped him. "Stop, who are you? Hand over the fire jade." Sovan disguised himself as a Shik Kui sect member, of course without the fire jade. Fire hell. "What is fire jade?" The two immediately became cautious. "You don't have it, do you?" "We're done for. Really don't have it. Only way is to charge in." All the Shik Kui sect members charged forward, yelling, "Enemy attack!" Look up at the sky. They seem to be from Luvan sect. The person they're talking about is Tu Van Nu, the direct disciple of Elder Shich Hafong. Yes, disciples have orders to unite and break through the defense. Yes. So Van ran out of the city in panic, thinking, why are they all direct disciples and inner sect members? Tujin Tien is targeted. The Tran family estate is under attack. Yet the sect doesn't send elders to help. Shichqui sect is determined to take down the Tran estate. I can hardly handle this alone. Hope senior brother Don is safe. We must quickly find him and figure out a plan together. While running, Sylvana suddenly saw two Shichqui sect members grabbing a man by the collar. He trembled and shouted loudly, "People of Lu Van sect will not spare you." Huh. The man wearing the white demon mask slashed down with his sword to finish the opponent and wipe the blood off the blade with a cloth. The man wearing the yellow demon mask spoke, "These monks from the Tran estate are really stubborn. As long as we break through the final defense line of the city lord's mansion, we can seize the goods from Nguduong Mountain. Have you found it yet?" Sovan hid behind the wall listening to the conversation. Yes, when the elders of Lu Van sect defended Nguduong Mountain, I searched many times but still couldn't find it. It's probably as I suspected. The man with the yellow demon mask lightly waved his hand, then turned away. No matter what, we must get those two things. Yes. He continued to instruct, also while those old men at Luvan haven't arrived, you should leave quickly before being discovered. Yes. Suddenly the man with the white demon mask noticed someone hiding behind the wall eavesdropping and headed over, causing Sovan to panic and prepare to escape. This is bad. But before he could run, he was stopped. "Hey there, what are you doing?" He scratched his head hesitantly and replied, "I heard people from Luvan sect are breaking through the formation and advancing. I was going to report the situation." "You forgot you're wearing a mask. No need to reveal yourself." He nodded in trust and handed him a piece of paper. "This is the map of the mansion. Have them act according to the mark points. Hurry." He opened the map and quickly assessed the situation. The attack points are scattered, looking more like searching for something than attacking. Suddenly a sharp order rang out. "What are you standing there for? Move quickly." "Yes." He hurried away. Outside the city lord's mansion, chaos unfolded with smoke and fire rising, high bodies lying everywhere. A voice full of hatred shouted, "Evil demons and heretics, today you won't get through." The Shichqui sect kept slaughtering, causing the Tran family people to scream in pain. A man wearing a black mask licked the blood off his sword with a challenging look. "Is that all you've got?" Then he charged forward recklessly. In the blink of an eye, his body was cut in half. Tran Tinyu and two others witnessed this with great shock. The Shichqui sect members turned to look at Sovan, holding the Hanvium sword, standing confused behind what's going on. "Cutting down your own teammate again." Sovan slowly removed his mask and threw it aside. "None of you are teammates, right?" Tran Tinyu looked at him with contempt. "Deep Sovan from Luvan sect. But it seems like you're only at the Nap Nguyen realm, not even as strong as us." Sovan smiled, thinking, "Let me show you the true power of Nap Nguyen realm." He rushed forward using Zhenghu demon technique to freeze two Shichqui sect members. Tran Tinyu and her companions stepped back in horror. "Do you two want to make any more judgments?" Sovan asked challengingly. Tran Tinyu stepped forward, arms crossed stubbornly. "Look somewhere else." Deep Sovan didn't expect him to be so strong. "Thank you for saving my life. Sorry for what happened before." Sovan didn't pay attention and asked directly about the past. "It's okay. Do you know where senior brother Don is? Is he safe?" She shook her head sadly. When Shichqui sect attacked, senior brother led people to confront them, then disappeared. Disappeared. Sovan panicked. The two entered the mansion and saw a group surrounding Tran Namfong, head of the Tran family. "We were only invited to the grand ancestral ceremony. Now the losses are severe. What exactly does Shichqui sect want? Money or lives?" "Everyone don't panic. Our Tran family will do our best to fight Shichqui sect." Tran Namfong, Tran An, and Tran Tinyu angrily said, "These old men usually benefit from the Tran family, but when danger comes, they want to run away." Just then, Sovan raised the map. "Master Tran, maybe I can handle this emergency." That night at the Tran family courtyard, rain poured down like a waterfall. A member of the Shichqui sect was slashed across the body. Sovan wiped the rain from his face and sighed. The Shichqui sect here has already taken heavy losses. Looking at the Tran family fighters, he thought to himself, the Shichqui sect from other places must have also been drawn here. He recalled the plan laid out with Tran Nam Fong and the others. The Sai Kui sect has been planning this for a long time. This is the action map I obtained. It seems they are targeting an important item of the Tran family, but the exact location is unclear. Everyone murmured, Master Tran, please hand over what they want so we can live. Tran Nam Fong turned to Sovan Jr.'s brother Diep. You said you could handle this situation. Have you come up with a plan? Back to the present, a crowd from the Sheik Kui sect surged forward with fierce momentum. The sect leader ordered, whoever charges into the courtyard first will be rewarded with a breakthrough pill. Charge, charge. Sovan wielded the Hanvim sword, attacking them while silently calculating. The Sheik Kui sect has suffered losses inside and out. Now we must quickly find the treasure and retreat. He swung his sword using the Nguyet Lun Tram, slashing through them and sending them to meet their ancestors. Standing amid a sea of corpses, Sovan watched others charging down, thinking, as long as we hold out until the elders break the outer siege formation, we can survive this. He continued to deal with them. Although their strength was weak, there were too many like locusts. After the battle, his body showed signs of an impending breakthrough. On a nearby rooftop, two Shikwi sect members silently observed. The one wearing a fang mask assessed this little brat. Sovan is quite interesting. We searched the courtyard thoroughly but found nothing. Could there be another secret passage? The horned demon mask analyzed the group. Better to die defending than not. Besides, Elder Lu Vuntung has escaped the restriction at Five Yang Mountain and will arrive here within an hour. We must hurry. He ordered the attack. The fang-masked man jumped down, swinging his fist straight at Sovan. Kid, let me fight you. Sovan dodged sideways but was still hit in the shoulder, blood spurting out. He thought, too fast. The other licked the blood off the spikes on his hand. Kid from the Nap Wayne realm, been proud for too long, don't think you're that strong. Sovan, clutching his bleeding shoulder, replied, You've been staring at me for so long, finally decided to come down. The other widened his eyes in surprise. This is Sovan raising the Hanvim sword, high, unleashing a flurry of lightning strikes. You're the first to see this move of mine. Use yourself to test this move. He retreated in horror, the kid's aura suddenly so strong. Sovan charged forward with a slash, but he jumped to avoid it, laughing arrogantly. Daiha sword technique, I thought it was strong. This sword technique has high damage, but is slow, no match for me. He swung his fist, ready to counter. Kid, your move has a big flaw. He launched a tiger punch. Sovan blocked with the Hanvim sword, but the attack was powerful, knocking him far back, bleeding from his mouth, but smirking. Just as I predicted. He used a new move that shocked the other, Thenwin sword technique. This kid has more tricks up his sleeve. He realized, you don't want to use the Daiha sword technique, but to trick me into close range. Sovan rushed at him fast, and he panicked, trying to flee. Damn, can't avoid this move. A surge of tremendous power erupted. The ground shook throughout the mansion. The earth caved in deeply. Sovan jumped out. Everyone shouted, We won! We won! But Sovan didn't celebrate yet. Don't be so sure he's not dead. The horned demon mask jumped down. The fang-masked one clutched his wound in pain. We really underestimated you, Huangsa. What are you waiting for? Next time, don't let it get like this. The horned demon mask charged at Sovan with a sword. I will kill you with every strike. He cut down several Tran family members. Sovan was shocked. So fast, only by using Sunghu Ghost technique could I barely evade the Thenwin sword technique, but it drained me too much to defend further. Thinking that he used lightness skill to escape. You want to run. Those two guys chased after Deep. Sovan making him hesitate. I still have the secret move Hong Tu gave me to stay alive. Do I really have to use it here? Just then he heard Tron Tin Yu calling loudly from below. Deep Sovan hadn't jumped down yet when he saw the masked man with fangs preparing a powerful attack. This is bad. Deep Sovan immediately dove down and grabbed Tran Tin Yu. Get out of the way quickly. The girl blushed shyly when she saw him lying on top of her. Deep Sovan and the two others were startled to see Tran Tin Yu and Sovan protected by a layer of barrier. What is this? Deep Sovan was equally stunned. Hey, what is this, Deep? Tran Tin Yu helped Sovan up and explained Deep Sovan. This is the Tran family's ancestral barrier left by the old ancestor. It can hold off attacks for a while. Seeing her eyes well up with tears, he patted her shoulder to comfort her. It's just uncles and elders in the family. If they fled, they fled. If they died, they died. Don't worry. Where is your father? A moment later, inside the Tran family's ancestral chamber, Tran Nam Fong was overjoyed to see the two enter. Diep, Jr. brother, you finally returned. He entrusted a task to Tran Tinyu little new go outside and keep watch. Don't let anyone come near here. Father wants to speak with Diep, senior brother. Yes, the girl went outside and slammed the door shut. Deep So Van asked Master Tron, what is the matter? Please speak freely. Suddenly, Tran Nam Fong knelt down, begging, please, Diep Jr. brother. I beg you to save my little daughter. He panicked and quickly helped him up. Master Tran, this can't be. What are you doing? Deep Jr. brother, you've seen it yourself. The Tran family can never return to how it was. He tried to comfort him, but he remained dejected. Master Elder Lu Van Tong of the Tran family is on his way here. Isn't it too soon to give up now? This ancestral Tran barrier is the family's last line of defense. It can only hold for a moment at most. He clasped his hands and pleaded, I only want to ask one thing of you before I die. Please protect little Nu and Than Ha Fong. Deep So Van lowered his head hesitantly. In my current state, it will be difficult for me to protect Miss Tran. Tran Nam Fong took out a magical treasure and instructed, this is called Ngok Li Lai, a family heirloom of the Tran family. It is why the Tran family grew strong and also why it fell. He insisted that Diep accept it. Deep Jr. brother, you have a pure heart. I feel at ease in trusting this to you. Then I will use secret techniques to get you and little Nu out of the Tran family. Please don't refuse. This is exactly what the Red Ghost sect has always been searching for. Finally, Deep So Van agreed and stuffed Ngok Lili into his chest. Master Tran reassured him, as long as Diep So Van lives, I won't let Miss Tran suffer any injustice. Just then, the door suddenly burst open. Tran Tinyu shouted loudly to report to her father. They forced their way in here. If it weren't for father bringing you here to escape, you would have been dead long ago. Among the people who just entered, 3 had powerful backgrounds. The head of the Wang family, Wang Ungak, shouted angrily, you're almost dead and yet you still fuss over so many things. Master Tran, the Red Ghost sect, wants you to hand it over. Do you want everyone to be buried with the Tran family? Tran Nam Fong pondered for a moment, then said, please allow me a little time to prepare. Deep Jr. brother, please take the little girl into the waiting room for a moment. Deep So Van led Tran Tinyu into the room. She anxiously asked Deep So Van, they won't force father to hand over that thing, right? He glanced through the crack in the door, hesitating. Probably, but Master Tran won't give it up. Tran Nam Fong outside was talking with the other family heads. Deep So Van paid attention to his fate. Don Juan, driven by ambition to seize the Tran family's secrets, didn't hesitate to use cruel methods to torment Master Tran to death. That scene horrified everyone. The atmosphere became suffocating. Senior brother Don, how dare you do that to Master Tran? What is going on? Tran Nam Fong, in a fit of rage, crushed the jade in his hand, his voice resolute. If the Red Ghost sect wants to come, let them come. His loud laughter echoed, making the other family heads tremble in fear. The 2 Red Ghost sect members outside noticed the barrier beginning to crack and exclaimed in shock, the defense shield is breaking from the inside. We have to get in now. Meanwhile, So Van and Tran Tinyu were lifted into the air by a mysterious energy. Tran Tinyu cried out in panic, Father, what are you doing? Let me down now. Suddenly, a loud noise came from the next room. The door slowly opened. A man wearing a horned demon mask appeared, his hand gripping Tran Nam Fong's throat. He growled, stop the formation. Once it's activated, it can't be stopped. Tran Tinyu cried and begged, please. So Van, senior brother Diep, please save my father, save my father. So Van held her, comforting Miss Tran. If we leave now, everything the head of the Tran family has done will be for nothing. The man wearing the demon mask sneered and made a condition. If you don't leave, I will kill him in the most painful way. Miss Tran, why don't you quickly beg your senior brother? Do you really want to watch your father die a miserable death? Tran Nam Fong opened his eyes, smiled, and said, Noon ye go. You must live strong. Tran Tinyu knelt down, crying, Father. Deep So Van, please save my father. If you won't go, I will go myself. Suddenly, So Van knocked her unconscious. When he lifted her up, she still mumbled, Deep So Van, save father. So Van lowered his face, tears streaming down, sorry. Then he carried her, rushing toward Lu Van sect. On the way, So Van thought this direction would lead to Lu Van sect, but the teleportation speed was too slow, and his strength was gradually fading. Suddenly, he sensed a breath chasing after him. Worried, not good, someone is coming. It seemed the escape route was blocked. Thinking so, he dashed into the forest, flying through the foliage. This complex terrain was more suitable for running. Suddenly, he was hit by a burst of power, falling heavily to the ground. A person stepped forward and said, stop struggling. You can't escape. Hand over the items obediently, and I won't kill you. So Van sat up, bitterly smiling. If I hand over the items to you, you'll definitely kill us immediately. He looked straight at him. Am I right, senior brother Duanhuan? The man wearing the demon mask removed it, revealing Duanhuan's face. It seems you aren't too foolish. For old brotherhood's sake, hand over the Tran family treasure. I guarantee I won't make things difficult for you. He sneered. Oh, right. There's also something in Mountain Five Yang's cave. Sovun slowly stood up and asked, so you've been trying to approach me because of this? Are you sure it's on him? Duanhuan recalled and replied, you and Vung Sung entered the mountain cave together. When I killed that Vung Sung, he said, only you went deeper into the cave. Junior brother Diep has recently advanced rapidly. It's hard to suspect him. The energy chart appeared, causing Sovun to panic. Fought Duanhuan at Lakha Valley, was seriously injured. Used the divine obstruction pill to break through the realm, entered the sword cultivation UNC realm. So I will die at Lakha Valley, isn't that here? Damn it, isn't there still half a month left? He took out a divine obstruction pill, thinking, judging by recent events, maybe there's still a chance to turn things around. As long as I take this pill, even seriously injured, I can reverse the situation. Thinking so, he put the pill in his mouth and swallowed it. Resolute inside, the only way now is to gamble. Duanhuan laughed loudly, holding his face. Divine obstruction pill. To absorb it, you must at least reach the UNC realm. Someone as small as you in the nascent UN realm would likely be blown up by this energy. You're asking for death. Immediately his body began to change, pain making his eyes bulge. This energy made him collapse to the ground, spitting out a mouthful of blood. He arrogantly waved the sword in his hand. Looks like I don't even need to act. Hand over the treasure you have. My senior brother will send you off, ending this misery. Then he raised the sword to strike down. If not, I'll make you suffer even more. His face tired, but he tried to reassure himself, it's enough if I just get seriously injured. But just as he struck, something blocked him. The Hanvim's sword hovered, startling him and making him step back. What's going on here? The Hanvim's sword. He went mad and charged at him again. Only a high-level magical weapon can protect its master. How could someone in the nascent Yuan realm like you possess this? Watching the Hanvim's sword continuously fly back and forth, protecting him, he was shocked, eyes wide open and mouth agape. What is this? This magical weapon can even automatically protect its master. It kept flying around, then pressed against his cheek, leaving him helpless. But now is not the time for you to show loyalty. You have to let him injure me first. Duanhuan suddenly laughed loudly. Fine apprentice, brother Diep is truly my benefactor. After you die, I will protect these treasures well on your behalf. So Van wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and replied, benefactor, huh? Listen here, kid, don't act like that. Did your last attack even touch me? Then he grabbed the Hanvium sword with blazing spear ready to charge. How about a direct attack against me? Although the Hanvium sword's defense is very strong in my hands, the attack can at most reach Yuan High Realm, probably no match for Duanhuan. Hearing this, he grinned wickedly and charged, about to die. And still arrogant, it seems senior brother must see you off a bit. So he also charged forward with the Hanvium sword. At that moment, he suddenly threw the Hanvium sword aside. I slipped and dropped it. He spread his arms, waiting for the attack as long as I avoid the weak spot. What's the harm in taking one hit from you? Injure me seriously then. He jumped high, just a short distance from him. Come on, die, come on, senior brother. Just as he swung down, the Hanvium sword rushed to block. He was shocked seeing that, huh? I threw you away. But why do you come back? The Hanvium sword wrapped around him again. He spat a mouthful of blood, thinking that energy is clashing all over my body. Without the Hanwin sword forging my body, I might really explode. Duanhuan jumped back, sneering arrogantly. Why should I wait here for you to die? Suddenly a stone was thrown, hitting his forehead, leaving him stunned. It was So Van deliberately provoking him. So he gave up already. His madness peaked immediately, using the blood demon. Wind forbidden technique, eyes blazing red like a crazy demon, shouting his name, Dep. So Van. Duanhuan roared, ordering 2 henchmen to restrain the Hanvium sword, cutting off the link between the wielder and weapon. Then he lunged to grab So Van's neck, squeezing until he trembled painfully. Deep apprentice, brother. Stop struggling. Your existence was a mistake from the start. Let senior brother send you off. So Van gritted his teeth, enduring tears and snot mix, thinking my neck is about to snap. If I don't get seriously injured, I'll die for sure. There's only this way. Thinking so, he kicked hard between Duanhuan's legs. He was in pain, face flushed, veins bulging, growling each word, you want to die. He punched So Van's chest hard, causing him to cough blood. He kept squeezing his neck, lifting him up. Finally, he let go, dropping him to the ground with a contemptuous smile. No strength, but still arrogant, truly foolish. Don Juan proudly said, killing you is as easy as killing an ant. He started searching Sovan's body. Too bad you wasted a Doak golden pellet, otherwise I'd have reached the Thong Yu realm. Finding nothing, he glanced at Tran Tin Yu lying nearby. No items on this one. Could they be on her? Juan approached and seeing her crying and trembling, laughed cruelly. I know you're awake. Why are you shaking in fear like this? Deep, Sovan, your big brother, is already down there. You should follow him. Then he stabbed her back with the sword, immobilizing her. Turning her over to check, he was startled. Nothing here. Meanwhile, at Tran family fortress, smoke and fire engulfed bodies scattered everywhere. Run in streams, someone shouted. Kill Master Lu. The Shichqui sect in Tran family fortress had been massacred countless. The fang-masked man was stabbed in the chest, painfully spitting out blood. Liu Sungbin wiped blood off his sword, sighed and asked, any sign of Tu Bin Tian and Diep Sovan yet? None yet. Dark clouds covered the sky. He shouted orders. Go find them quickly, or no one will escape the sect leader's blame. Yes, sir. Returning to Lakha Valley, the rain began to fall. Don Juan muttered, how come no sign? He seemed to go mad. Ripping Sovan's clothes. Tran Nam Fong must have definitely given the jade lily to this kid already. Could it be missing? He cursed angrily. Damn it. Where the hell is the stash? Damn it, dead, but still causing trouble for me. He trembled, squeezing his hand tightly against you until it tore fresh blood flowing nonstop. You have no idea how much effort it took me to imprison the elders of Luvan sect on Ngudung Mountain. He lifted you up and shook you completely unaware that Han Vim Kim was undergoing a change. Tu Bin Tian had also been subdued as planned. Han Vim Kim gradually regained strength while he muttered, everything is under my control, just missing a little. Furious, he punched your face again, blood splattering everywhere. You lost the treasures twice because of you. Suddenly, the spiritual energy in Sovin's body began to flow again, radiating a brilliant light. Don Juan's face changed color. The spiritual energy in his body is starting to circulate again. Seeing you radiate powerful energy, and your wounds gradually healing, he jumped back in shock. How are you not dead? He laughed heartily in delight. Looks like heaven is on my side. Maybe the energy from the Doak Kim Dan rising caused his rebound. As long as you still have a breath left. Brother Diep, hand over the item, I might spare your life. Sovun had now ascended to the Kim Tung Win Haiken level, holding Han Vim Kim in hand, his whole body emitting spiritual energy. Seeing Tran Tin Yu lying bloodied on the side, you wondered if the situation could still be turned around. Then you activated Kim Tung Win Haiken, a sword-shaped seal, gradually appearing on your forehead. Let's see how powerful this level really is. You used the Great River Sword technique. Duan Huan flew up, disdainfully using the Blood Demon Wind Prohibition technique. Kim Tung Win Haikan is still one level below my Ngu Hong Kan. Suddenly, Sovun leapt forward, slashing past Duan Huan with a strike. He already had 2 cuts on his leg, but still couldn't believe his eyes. How is this possible? Too fast, not stopping. Sovun used another technique, the Then Wind Sword technique. It's not over yet. Duan Huan panicked, damn, not this move again. He quickly dodged, but it was too late. In an instant, his body was completely controlled, unable to move at all. Sovun raised his hand to the sky and used the That Huiyan sword technique. Immediately, hundreds of energy pillars exploded, striking Duan Huan, leaving him shocked and unable to react. Why did it suddenly get so strong? Taking continuous, relentless attacks, the demonic energy inside him dissipated. He screamed in pain and collapsed covered in wounds, his cultivation ruined, yet he still couldn't accept the reality. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Clearly, I'm one whole level above him. That's right, Kim Tung Win Haiken. What kind of realm is this? Sovun pressed Han Vim Kim against his neck, declaring coldly, you lost senior brother Duan I won. Just a moment ago, arrogant. Now he was weak and tearful, begging, please don't kill me, brother Diep. Countless powerful warriors have tried, but were all killed in an instant. He struggled to stand and continued. And the Lily Jade and the secret of Ngudung, mountains sealed with unknown treasures, are keys to open the Chan Huang Palace. As he spoke, he brushed past Sovun. That's all I know. Just spare me, brother. I will definitely get more information from the Sheikh Kui sect to report back to you. Sovun sneered lightly. Once you gain the posture of Chan Huang Palace, you will surely achieve great success. Become the master of 10,000 worlds. Oh, thank you, senior brother. He grew weaker and sneered, I do this to repay you for sparing me. Later. But before he could finish, his legs were frozen and unable to move. An opportunity. He panicked and turned brother Diep. What do you mean by this? You already agreed to spare me. Don't go back on your word like this. So Vun swung Hanvim Keem, murderous intent filling the air toward him. Senior brother, you don't seriously think I'm still a soft persimmon for you to shape, do you? Your face was cold. Cruel people like you who fake loyalty and kindness must be exterminated. Otherwise, you will surely become a future disaster. You stopped and swung your sword slicing across his head. Watching the head roll on the ground, eyes still wide open. Sovan was unshaken and drew a large circle like that. No useful information, only a demon would believe you. You sighed. After defeating Duan Huan, maybe your fate would change. But looking at the near future, you were utterly shocked. Returning to Luvana sect and having your inner disciple identity stolen, has your fate turned into that of an unlucky kid? Escaped the battle at Lakha Valley, but on return was pushed off a cliff, flesh torn and bones shattered. He mumbled in confusion, what the hell does having my inner disciple identity stolen mean? Then he went to check on Tran Tinyu's condition. On the dagger of the Hoan group was an anesthetic that prevented movement, the wound slowly bleeding. He touched her neck, breathed a sigh of relief. She still had a faint pulse. Then he summoned the magic treasure, the golden leaf, to heal her. The next day at Van Tusan, a loud scream erupted. Is this some good news you're bringing? Oh Hyunduk angrily threw Liu Xiangbin aside and shouted, Tranjia village has 348 households. 100 Taoist cultivators were wiped out. 100 inner and outer disciples were wounded or killed, and over 10 inner disciples died. How do you expect me to explain this to Elder Luvan in the outside world? Liu Xiangbin trembled on the ground trying to explain through the pain. Sect leader calmed down. I've investigated thoroughly this time. It was inner disciples of the Huan group working with Shichqui sect that caused this serious situation. But by the time we found the Hoan group, they were already dead. Hearing this, Kohian Duck grew even more furious. They're dead. How could Elder Lu Van easily accept this? Liu Xiangbin stood up, bowed respectfully to the sect leader. Don't worry, the Hoan group had close ties with Diepso Van. Someone even reported seeing them exchange tokens. If this betrayal is related to Diepso Van, Elder Lu Van might be reluctant to punish him. Kohian Duck wearily rubbed his nose. Such a pity for that kid's talent. So have you found Diepso Van yet? Just then a subordinate rushed in urgently. Reporting to sect leader, Diepso Van brought Miss Trangia Trun Tinyu into the sect's discipline hall at Leuven sect. Harsh interrogation cries still refused to reveal why. Someone grabbed him tightly. A hand slammed deep. Savan's face to the ground causing pain, but he couldn't resist. Tubantin sat there coldly beside him was the elder of the discipline hall Honghai. He raised a fire jade shard, accusing Diepso Van Diepso you had close dealings with the Hoan group, and the fire jade token of Jichqui sect was found on you. Do you have anything to say, Deep? Sovan thought for a moment, then retorted, So this is the fire jade of Jichqui sect. Your senior brother is dead, and you want to drag me down too. I'm telling you, I was framed by someone else. Do you believe me? As soon as he finished, Tubantian aggressively grabbed his head, bringing his face close. Don't waste my time, just seeing you makes me sick. Master ordered at all costs to investigate the truth, saying that he summoned a series of soul-shocking nails, threatening, If you still refuse to confess, I'll make you taste these soul-shocking nails. Honghai pretended to kindly advise the kid. I advise you to admit your guilt. The more he spoke, the more twisted his smile became. This soul-piercing nail not only strips you of all your cultivation, but also severely damages your soul, preventing further training. The scariest part is that you will endure excruciating pain day and night. Deep Sovan was restrained on the ground. He looked straight at Tubantin and questioned them. You all went through so much trouble just to frame me. I didn't expect you to resort to such cruel torture. As he finished, a soul-piercing nail shot toward him. Stubborn, he gritted his teeth and endured, but when the nail touched his head, it suddenly bent. Tubantin and Honghai were stunned. Even Diepsovan didn't understand what was happening or how it could be possible. Tubantin angrily launched another volley of soul-piercing nails, but all bent and fell to the ground. Honghai broke out in a cold sweat. How is this guy able to bend soul-piercing nails? Is he made of iron? Tubantin freaked out, grabbing Deep. Sovan's collar ready to strike a fatal blow. Kid, who exactly are you? The first time I met you, I felt pain and loss, even though I didn't understand why. You can resist the soul-piercing nails, but today is the day you die. Honghai hurried over to hold his hand. Tubantian, calm down. Don't ruin the sect leader's plan. While they struggled, a voice suddenly startled them both. Let me see who dares. Who dares? The Empress Elder, such a nuisance. Tantichnan stepped in with majestic authority. Let me see who dares touch him. You want to kill someone based only on a baseless jade piece. Aren't you being too arbitrary? Hong Hai trembled a bit and whispered to Tu Binthin. Don't forget the sect leader's orders. Now's the time to release him and leave. I don't need you to lecture me. Tu Binthin's face darkened as he solemnly asked, Is this your decision, or Elder Lu Van's? Tantichnan didn't answer but coldly said, Tu Binthin, watch your attitude. I am the direct disciple of the elder. By the rules, I am now on equal footing with your master. He still held Sauvan's collar tightly and sneered, So what do you think your junior uncle should do now? She calmly replied, My sect master has clearly said that although Diep Sauvan is at fault, he protected the only heir of the Tron family. Good deeds outweigh bad. He will lose his inner sect status and be assigned to guard the mountain gate to atone. Do you have any objections? Junior uncle? Hearing this, Tu Binthin released his grip, tossed so. Van aside and coldly said, If Elder Lu Van has spoken, surely the sect master won't object. He brushed past her and said, I will report this first. Farewell. Before leaving, he threatened, I warn you, if you dare to act arrogantly because of your status again, I will kill you. Then Sauvan and Tantichnan left the Xingyu Law Hall. On the way, Sauvan excitedly praised Tan Jr.'s sister. You were really cool just now. The more he praised, the brighter his smile. No wonder following Elder Lu Van your aura has changed a lot, progressing rapidly. Seeing her lower her head silently, he worriedly asked, Tan Jr.'s sister, what's wrong? Tantichnan was embarrassed and teary, finally saying, Senior brother Diep, I'm so glad you're okay. I was just pretending earlier. Actually, I'm really afraid of that Tu Binthin guy. He stared wide-eyed at the system screen. In less than a month, you've risen from the 3rd level of the rejection realm to the 8th level of the essence absorption realm. No wonder you're the Empress. Seeing her still quietly sobbing, he sighed helplessly. This is going to be trouble. He smiled and patted her head to comfort her. Tan Jr.'s sister, you did very well. If it weren't for you, they definitely wouldn't have let me off so easily. She worriedly warned, the Tran family suffered heavy losses this time. The sect leader feared you would be blamed, so he fabricated you as the victim who didn't know anything and pushed you away. If this time fails, there will definitely be another. Senior brother, you must be careful. He smiled brightly to reassure his junior sister. Don't worry, I have my own ways to protect myself. Wolves and tigers surround us. Looks like the Luvan sect won't last long. Half a month later, at a small house of the Luvan sect's mountain guardian, Sauvan was cultivating using his spiritual embryo. He had now reached the 5th level of the Origin Sea realm. While cultivating, he pondered, the deeper I cultivate the primordial chaos sword embryo, I have comprehended the Great River sword technique and the pure origin sword technique up to the 5th and 3rd levels. After thinking, he opened his eyes, withdrew the spirit embryo and murmured, This thing is too powerful, drawing in the spiritual energy of heaven and earth day and night. It's about to drain all the spiritual energy within several hundred miles around the mountain. My advancement speed has clearly slowed down recently. He rested his chin and recalled, the cause that helped me resist the soul-shaking nail last time is still unknown. When I meet the old man, maybe he can explain it. He stood up excitedly and opened the storage device. Write the ancient scripture obtained from the Vulture Mountain. The opportunity of Xiao Bingtian definitely isn't simple. I have to study more to unlock the restriction on the ancient scripture. But when he looked, he was startled. Where is my ancient scripture? But he refused to accept the truth, trying to shake the system board back and forth. Impossible. I clearly placed it in the storage world. Why can't I see it anymore? Finally, he received an explanation and suddenly understood everything. The translation of the ancient text's owner is none other than Shanhai Yi Jiao, an ancient work that has been fully deciphered. So that's how it is. Suoyun looked intently at the decoding board full of thoughts. Shanhai position is written in ancient characters divided into upper and lower parts. The upper part introduces rare ancient strange beasts. The lower part contains an ancient and powerful beast-taming secret. Thinking so, he closed his eyes and focused to learn, if I master this beast-taming secret, I will gain an additional self-defense skill. In a world where the big fish eat the small, only great strength brings many choices. Just then, outside the gate of the Liu Yun sect, a man appeared leading a fierce tiger, causing the guards to loudly question, Who are you to dare barge into the Liu Yun sect? The man said, I am a disciple of the beast-taming sect here to see the late sect leader. Where is the sect leader? Do you think you can meet him just by wanting to? Li Haoji heard this, his anger flared, and along with his tiger prepared to confront. That brat dares to disrespect my beast-taming sect. Suddenly, Suo Yun stepped forward, smiling as he touched the tiger's fangs, making both master and beast look at him in confusion. So this is the beast-taming sect's spirit beast. It looks pretty soft, huh? Don't touch my tiger. Li Haoji gritted his teeth, his face flushed with anger. That lowly brat dares to touch my tiger. He swung his fist at Suo Yun, but Suo Yun remained calm, intently observing his fate. A purple fate suddenly arrives at the door. Suo Yun smirked slightly, murmuring, "It's the Origin Sea's 8th weight realm, just right for me to test my skills." He raised his hand to catch Li Haoji's punch, his tone full of disdain. "You can't even beat a gatekeeper like me." Then he kicked, sending him flying. How embarrassing. Seeing this, the tiger hurried to support its master. Li Haoji was now badly injured, growling an order. "Tiger charge! Kill this brat for me!" On command, the tiger's eyes flashed with killing intent as it ferociously lunged at Suo Yun. He closed his eyes and concentrated. Time to test the new move I learned. Suo Yun formed a handsill and chanted a beast-taming spell to calm the tiger. In an instant, the tiger became docile, its face flushed, big round eyes staring at Suo Yun, even cuddling up to him. Suo Yun smugly put his hands on his hips. The calming spell of the beast. Taming secret really works. Li Haoji was shocked to the core, shouting, "Tiger, come back!" But the tiger ignored him, still busy clinging to and licking Suo Yun. "You really have a talent for beast taming, but unfortunately you met me. You can only control it reluctantly, but I—" Suo Yun chanted another spell, commanding the tiger to attack Li Haoji using the beast taming secret. It's over. Could it be the tiger has truly been tamed by him? At that moment, the elder of the beast-taming sect, Lo Hong, appeared to stop them. Enough. His arrival startled Suo Yun. Li Hong smiled amicably. "This little brother, my sect's disciple, was rude, but you are talented beyond compare. I hope you will spare his spirit beast." Hearing this, Sovan did not make things difficult, clasped his hands and bowed to the elder. "You truly understand reason. This is a small matter among juniors. The elder need not concern himself. But when it comes to Leuven sect, one must abide by the rules of Leuven sect. The sect has a place dedicated to caring for spirit beasts, so please, elder, don't make things hard for low-ranking disciples like us." Li Haotrek stood up angrily to object, but was stopped by Lei Hong. "A noble tiger cannot be kept here." "All right." Lei Hong turned to instruct So Vun. "Then I'll trouble you, little brother." "No problem." So Vun replied, and the two went inside together. Li Haotrek gritted his teeth angrily and warned, "Just you wait." "Humph, am I afraid of you?" So Vun sneered. "No time to waste. Let's go seize the opportunity first." 2 hours later in Daifunfeng, amid the misty haze, So Vun's voice echoed, "Where exactly is it? We've walked along this ancient cave mansion for so long, but still haven't found anything." After a while, he saw ahead a stream radiating a magical glow. "Found it. The spiritual energy of this stream must be here." So Vun stared blankly. "Huh. That is..." Before him was a large medicinal herb field beside the stream, a truly vast herb field, and its vital energy strong and dense. "I didn't expect Leuven sect to have a place like this." That Li Haotrek is really unlucky. Suddenly he widened his eyes, seeing something strange in the middle of the herb field, murmuring, "What is that?" When he realized it was a jade pendant, he couldn't help but be startled. So it's a jade pendant. It seemed to be absorbing the medicinal properties of the herb field. He stepped forwards, took the jade pendant, examined it carefully, and stroked his chin thoughtfully. The herb field's medicinal properties have all been absorbed by it, so how do I release the medicinal energy from this jade pendant? After a moment of thought, he decided to wear it around his neck. "Whatever, I'll just keep it and figure it out later. It never hurts to have a survival method." Suddenly his fate imprint appeared, surprising him. "The host has undergone a major change. In 3 days, the two brothers Trio Ngok Long will lead a powerful great beast to destroy you." He frowned. Trio Ngok Long, Trio Ngok Ho, do these two still dare to make a move? He clenched his teeth, determined. "This time I'll make sure you don't come back alive." 3 days later, at Sovan's house, the two brothers Trio Ngok Long and Trio Ngok Ho were secretly plotting. "Is this plan okay?" Tubin Teen sat on a nearby tree branch, smirking. "Looks like a great show." Inside, Sovun was sleeping soundly when suddenly countless snakes, big and small, crawled in. Triongok Lung grinned wickedly. Don't worry, this big snake is a rare beast at the origin sea level. I spent a lot of money to get it. I heard if it bites you, you'll immediately explode and die. The snake lunged towards Sovun, mouth wide with fangs. Triongok Lung was delighted. This time he's definitely dead. The two brothers peered through the door slit, whispering, "Why don't we hear any pitiful screams? The snake is so strong he probably couldn't react in time. Deep Sovun has betrayed us. Letting him die in his dreams is too easy." Just then Sovun's voice sounded from behind. "Are you two looking for me?" They turned around pale. "Deep Sovun, you cost me my position as an inner sect disciple. I won't let this debt go." Deep Sovun sneered. "You two think you can kill me alone?" Triongok Ho was sweating bullets, but when he saw Triongok Long take out a flute and play, he grew confident. "Deep Sovun, evil will be repaid with evil. Heaven sees all. Tonight you will pay for what you have done." Beitai Kwangmang burst out of the house, jaws full of sharp teeth aimed at Sovun. "Quick, make it bite him to death!" But Sovun leapt away just in time to avoid the attack. He recognized this as Beitai Kwangmang, a high-level rare beast, controlled only by disciples of the beast-taming sect. Could it be that Li Haotrek colluded with these two idiots? The two trio brothers kept nagging. "Diep Sovun, weren't you strong before? Are you scared now? With Bei Tai and Mang backing you, you're just a worthless little gatekeeper. If you kneel and admit your faults, I'll let you die faster." Sovun stood majestically amid the dust, fearless. "If that's the case, then let the stick hit its own back." Triongok Long and Triongok Ho were determined to kill him. "You've arrived and you're still arrogant. Hurry up." Seven Tai Kwangmang bit him to death, but at that moment the seven Tai Kwangmang suddenly turned and viciously tore into the two brothers, blood spraying everywhere. Sovun was still casting his spell, coldly saying, "You say no one pays attention to my life, but what about yours?" Suddenly a cold voice rang out behind Diep Sovun. "You are really bold." Tu Bintian appeared, eyes full of suspicion. "Daring to openly harm fellow disciples in the sect, do you have anything to say?" Sovun calmly responded, "Senior brother's arrival is truly surprising." Seven Tai and Mang rushed toward Tu Bintian, but he stood firm, unshaken. Does he want to protect his master? He squinted his cold gaze and disdainful tone, saying, "Lowly beast, reckless of life and death," then raised two fingers to unleash a deadly technique. Die! The scene before Sovun left him astonished, so powerful. 7. Tai and Mang were tightly wrapped by a terrifying force, writhing in pain but helpless. Sovun's eyes widened, thinking to himself, this must be the true strength of the 9th rank communicator. In front of Tu Bintian, I definitely can't withstand one strike. In the main hall of Von Cat, the bodies of Triongok Lung and Triongok Ho were brought out. Sovun stood in the middle of the hall, hearing Ko Hyenduk question him. "Deep Sovun, have you confessed yet? He listed your previous crimes, colluding with Doan Huan and Shik Kui's sect, yet unresolved and now killing fellow disciples." Thung Quandian, angry after hearing this, said, "With such crimes, even if Elder Luvun wanted to protect you, he couldn't. Do you have any defense? If you don't want to punish the disciple, then handle it yourself." Mentioning Elder Luvun made Hong Hai angry, and others spoke up. "Senior brother, what defense does he still have? The evidence is clear. Just chop him down. Exactly, a traitor like him is only a seed of disaster." Sovun, silent until now, raised two fingers and said, "The disciple has something to say." The disciple wants to accuse Senior Brother Tio of inciting fellow disciples to kill the disciple, failing, then framing the disciple to disrupt the sect. This statement shocked everyone. Tu Bintian was angry but silent. Hong Hai loudly scolded Sovun, but was stopped by Thung Quan Win. "Are you crazy? What nonsense is this? Drag him down to the law hall and chop him immediately." "Senior Brother Hong, don't get angry. If he's really lying, there's still time to deal with it later. Besides, the sect leader hasn't said anything yet." Ko Hyenduk's face darkened, stroked his beard, and said, "You speak up." Sovun immediately turned to question Tu Bintian. "I want to ask Senior Brother Tu why you're so late and why you appeared at the mountain gate." Tu Bintian, expression unchanged, replied, "I was returning from a mission down the mountain and happened to see you killing fellow disciples." Sovun continued, "So Senior Brother Tu only saw the trio brothers die in front of me, but didn't see what they did right. But that never happened." Sovun reached inside his robe and took out a crystal storage statue, recording everything that had just happened, directly exposing him. "Why is Senior Brother Tao's image in this crystal storage statue? I just think Tubentin was briefly shocked. What a crystal storage statue. Everyone murmured and debated while Ko Hyun-duk remained silent. What is going on here? Indeed, there was senior brother too. The crystal storage statue reflected Tubentin sitting above watching the two brothers True Ngok Long and True Ngok Ho do bad things. Even when Sovon was attacked by Seven Tai and Mong, and when he laughed joyfully watching the fun, Tubentin was present, silent, unable to say anything. Sovon continued to question senior brother too. Do you have anything else to say? This matter is difficult. It makes people suspect you ordered the trio brothers to kill the disciple. Defend yourself. Besides, the trio brothers were clearly killed by their spirit beasts. The disciple didn't even touch them. The elders, who had spoken boldly, were now frozen stiff. What kind of situation was this? Ko Hyun-duk cleared his throat softly and spoke up in defense. Yesterday, Tubentin was assigned by me to go down the mountain to drive away demons. It's normal that he passed by the mountain gate. After speaking, he turned and left as if nothing had happened. If those two monsters have walked into the trap themselves, there's no need to pursue further. Dismiss everyone. You should also return to your cultivation. Yes, the elders turned and left, leaving Sovon standing there. Suddenly, he called out, causing them to startle and turn back. The elders, once proud, and senior brother Teo blinked, watching fellow disciples slaughter each other while standing aside. He loudly accused Tubentin, once again making him angry, pointing at him. Does this count as slaughtering fellow disciples or not? Tubentin turned, bowed his head, and admitted guilt to Ko Hyun-duk. The disciple knows his fault. At that time, the disciple thought they were just clashing, never expecting. Master Hyun-duk looked serious and decided that since you have admitted your mistake, you will be punished by being sent to Lasho Cave behind the mountain to reflect for 1 month. If nothing happens, you are not allowed to leave on your own. Yes, master. After hearing this, Sovon was upset, but thought to himself, yeah, the late sect leader really is heartless. Outwardly, it was a confinement, but in reality, it was so Tubentin could go behind the mountain to receive the inheritance. Unfortunately, all this was a wasted effort. Later at Sovon's house, he downed his cup of wine in one gulp. Dang Bento saw this and praised the young man's good tolerance for alcohol. Both had already drunk a lot, their faces flushed red, but they still refused to stop and continued their cheerful conversation. But inside, I'm feeling restless and uneasy. Now that you have become a true sword cultivator, I always value tolerance and clarity on the path of swordsmanship. He reminded him in a serious tone. Your anger and resentment are not beneficial to your cultivation. You still have a large amount of energy from the Dohoak Dan in your body that hasn't been fully absorbed. It's because of this you can withstand the soul-shaking nail. Be careful not to suffer a spiritual deviation. Thinking of those in Leuven sect, he expressed his indignation. I'm not exactly angry, but today's events made me see the true face of Leuven sect. Such a large sect is so biased toward disciples ignoring principles. The elders turn a blind eye, and even Leuven elder founder doesn't bother to care. Then he laughed, put his arm around him, and thanked him. Fortunately, Elder Dang sincerely helped me and even lent me the flow crystal. He gently replied, don't worry when you become stronger. You naturally won't have to endure such unfair treatment anymore, he continued to encourage. The sword cultivator physique is extremely rare, and awakening it in a critical moment is even harder to come by. Kid, you might really be able to reach the pinnacle of swordsmanship, rising to the supreme rank among sword cultivators. Hearing this, he smiled and replied, if I can stand at the pinnacle of swordsmanship, then Elder Dang must have already reached the realm of sword spirit transformation. Both laughed, creating a joyful atmosphere. So it turns out you know how to flatter as well. Their laughter was so loud that even the squirrel sitting on the branch outside had to cover its ears. Pinnacle of swordsmanship. I'm serious. After a moment, Dang Bento returned to seriousness. Right, I will leave here for a while. Leave where to? For a favor from an old friend, and now is the right time I have to go. Though he didn't say, explicitly looking at his life destiny he thought was leaving the sect for the northern wilderness, didn't expect Elder Dang to have a dark fate. Thinking this, he spoke Elder Dang. If you've decided to go far, I will cast a fortune for you. Kid, what nonsense are you pretending to do? He raised his hand pretending to cast a fortune and warned Elder Dang, this trip north, be very careful. If you encounter a ghost palace, choose the right side or you will face great disaster. Remember this. Hearing this, he not only didn't believe it, but angrily tapped his head lightly. You little bastard, don't curse me. He looked up to the sky and laughed loudly. What can heaven do to me? Hopefully this time Elder Dang will turn misfortune into fortune. That night at Von Cap Master, Hyunduk was resting with eyes closed and slowly spoke. Didn't I tell you to go there? Tu Bin Tian hurriedly reported to Master the opportunity there has already been taken by someone else. What? He analyzed strangers are forbidden behind the mountain, and there are guards. Even if someone breaks in the challenges, there are not something ordinary people can overcome. Tu Bin Tian gritted his teeth angrily. Master, I guess this is definitely related to Diep Sovan. Every time I see him, I feel uncomfortable. His cultivation speed is too fast, not achievable by normal means. Master Hyunduk sounded a bit suspicious. Diep Sovan. Yes, last night, Elder Lu told me that Duan Huan was killed by Diep Sovan, and it was by a single critical strike. A single critical strike. Duan Huan was a late Imperial Realm fighter killing someone beyond his realm. Really, Master Hyunduk stood up and continued to comfort Tu Bin Tian. I know what you're worried about. No matter how fast he progresses right now, he is only at the original Sea Realm. It's impossible for him to surpass realms and kill you. He patted Tu Bin Tian on the shoulder reassuringly. Just focus on your cultivation. I will handle this. Yes, Master. Tu Bin Tian changed the subject. Master, I have one more thing to report. When Trio Ngok Long commanded the Seven Tai Kung Mang to attack Diep Sovan, according to the disciples, only the Yu Thu sect knew how to control the Seven Tai Kung Mang. Hearing this, Ko Hyunduk's face darkened. Is this because some people from the Yu Thu sect dared to act arrogantly in my Lu Van sect? And I have my own way to handle this. The next day at Van Tucat Ko, Hien Van summoned Sovan once again to discuss, Diep Sovan, do you still hold a grudge against me? Sovan was still a bit dazed from the alcohol thought for a moment, then smiled faintly and scratched his head, replying with a dignified look. Calling me here early in the morning must mean something important. I dare not complain. If the sect leader wants to apologize, it's not necessary. I still have many matters to attend to and must return to guard the gate. Hearing this, Ko Hien Van was angry, but tried to stay calm. Apologize. I will not beat around the bush anymore. This time the Yu Thu sect came here for two reasons. One is for the Ling World Assembly, and the other is because of a lost spirit beast not long ago. After 3 days of investigation, they discovered that the spirit beast had run into V Wang Mountain, which is managed by the Luvan sect. You have been to V Wang Mountain before, so we decided to send you to assist the Yu Thu sect in finding the spirit beast. So Van thought to himself, it's definitely not that simple. He sighed, holding his head in exhaustion, and declined respectfully to the sect leader. This matter involves the relationship between Luvan sect and Yu Thu sect. I should agree, but unfortunately after the battle at Tran Family Fortress, I suffered a head injury. Moreover, I have forgotten some of the terrain of Viwang Mountain. These words made Ko Hien Van furious. His hand trembled on the armrest. Deep Sovan, pretending not to notice, continued smiling. I have read some prescriptions in the Dan scripture that can help clear the mind and improve memory, but the ingredients are very rare. I wonder if the sect leader could indulge me. Ko Hien Van was helpless but still had to comply with Sovan's request. After half an hour, he finished a list longer than a scroll and handed it to the sect leader. Sect leader, I have finished writing it. Good, is this your order request? The sect leader stared at the paper with an awkward expression. He feigned asking cautiously, is there a problem, sect leader? Finally, he nodded in agreement. I will send someone to bring these to you immediately. Thank you, sect leader. As he left, Lu Xiongban angrily said, this sect leader is clearly forcing us. Things like Thien Tuong Wood Tich Kalan, the whole sect only has a few pills, and he dares to demand 10 to 20 of each. Let him be pleased, we'll take everything back once he's dead. Sect leader, don't worry everything. So Van requested is already piled outside. Bok Truk then handed him the paper to check. Younger brother Diep, this is the resource list. Take a good look. The sect leader is quick to prepare, the carriers muttered among themselves. A gatekeeper said, what's so trustworthy about this kid? He was a disciple, punished to be here before. Maybe the sect leader wants to restore his status. So Van heard every word and sneered inwardly. Restore the status of an inner sect disciple. Ko Hien Duk spares nothing, deliberately sending me to Viwang Mountain, clearly wanting me dead on this trip. No matter what, I can no longer stay in Luvan sect. Suddenly, Bok Truk Than started a conversation, making him startled. Younger brother Diep, This time the sect leader sent me to go down the mountain with you, to train and learn more from you. Are you going too? Yes, moreover, I have to transfer resources to you. Then lead you to depart immediately. Hearing this, he was terrified inside. Kohian Duke was truly cruel. He even sent someone to monitor me. This unlucky guy will surely drag me into trouble. Then Bok Truk Ten excitedly urged Diep Sovan, have you finished checking the supplies? Let's depart immediately. This is a hard labor trip. You must protect yourself well. Night fell on V Wong Mountain. Sovan's group led by Lohong was hurrying along. Lohong looked at this guiding stone and said, the destination is straight ahead. And the group followed closely, heading directly toward Vwong Lake. The signal from the guiding stone disappeared. Sovan wondered, could the spirit beast be in the lake? Kohinduk tricked me into going to Vwong Mountain. He's too lazy even to come up with a reason. The Yuthu sect clearly brought their own guiding stones. They didn't need me to lead the way. Suddenly, Lohong took out a magical treasure and began explaining, this is Tithui Jiao Chao, a treasure that helps you breathe easily underwater. One for each person. Li Hao Track Bok Truk Then. You two go underwater to bring the spirit beast back here. Deep Sovan, stay on shore with me and be ready to support when needed. Sovan took one with suspicion. Strange, I thought Kohian Duke wanted to use Yuthu sect to harm me, but throughout the journey they only focused on finding the spirit beast with no intention to attack. Could I have been mistaken? Li Hao Trek and Bok Truk Tun dove underwater, and Sovan turned to ask Lei Hong, did the sect leader assign you any special mission this time? Lei Hong was startled, his expression changing. How do you know? Could the sect leader want to kill me? He laughed. Kid, what are you talking about? I know you've joined the disciples of Elder Lu Van. Before we left, Elder Hyen Duk repeatedly told me to protect you carefully. How could I possibly harm you? Sovan was still uneasy and decided to check Lei Hong's life fate to verify. Your strength isn't less than Elder Hyen Duk's. He was worried you'd get hurt, which shows how much he values you. He cherishes you, doesn't he? Just look at the info board and it's clear. Suddenly, Li Hao Truk and Bok Truk Tun surfaced and quickly reported that the elder is in trouble. The spirit beast has died. What? How is that possible? That was the red sect Fireflame Lion, a peak-level spirit beast of the Imperial Void Realm. Even underwater, it still had strength at the mid-Imperial Void stage. The two jumped onto the surface, and the life fate immediately appeared, showing the upcoming turning point, an ambush at Vwong Mountain. The body of the red sect Fireflame Lion looked torn apart. I suspect there's a high-level ferocious beast at the bottom of the lake. Seeing this scene, Sovan suddenly realized that this was Elder Hyen Duk's plan all along. A while later, Sovan was sitting by the lake, resting when he heard footsteps. He opened his eyes and thought they're quick after all. Two men dressed in black stood on a tree branch and asked, why are you alone? Isn't that great? I knew you wouldn't spare me. Sovan slowly stood up, looked at them and asked, let me guess, you're Elder Lu, right? Liu Sungbin and Tiubin Tian, two masked men, suddenly turned towards Sovan with arrogant tones, saying, yeah, looks like, today's your last day. Sovan looked at them, annoyed, thinking, hey, big brother, you act like that. So no one will know you're actually Tiubin Tian, huh? He then sat down without hesitation and asked directly, Senior Brother Tu, aren't you trying to kill me out of jealousy because I have good fate and progress quickly? Or are you afraid I'll replace you as the sword heir? Hearing this, Tiubin Tian angrily pointed his sword at Sovan, saying that just with you alone, I can easily take your life with a light strike. Saying that, he rushed at him and executed the wind slash move, scraping one side of Sovan's face. Suddenly, a blue liquid shot toward Tiubin Tian, causing him to panic. Is this poison? Tiubin Tian quickly jumped back and shouted, who's attacking from behind? Suddenly, a large toad appeared. It was the Jo Kim Thien toad. Lei Hong also supported himself with a cane and walked over. Speaking mockingly, didn't expect this kid was right. You really had a plan all along, masked men attacking at night. Is this the righteous behavior of the Luvan sect? Flashback a few hours earlier. Sovan honestly recounted Elder Lei, we've fallen into a trap. The sect leader of Luvan sect plans to kill me and blame the Nguthu sect for it. Lei Hong doubted, what are you saying, kid? What's really going on, Junior? Other Diep Diep? Sovan tried to confirm, Elder Lei, whether you believe me or not tonight, you'll understand. If no one comes, deal with me as you please. Lei Hong nodded. If you're so sure, then for now we'll follow your arrangement. Back to the present Deep. Sovan stood behind the group, lightly touching the wound on his cheek, thinking that if Bok Truk Tun is captured and taken back to Luvan sect, he'll be imprisoned for life. He can only ask him to leave Viung Mountain first, hoping this unlucky guy can survive this ordeal. Liu Sungbin no longer hid his face. He decisively removed his mask and said, Lei Hong, this was originally an internal matter of our sect. Our only target is Diep Sovan. Helping him won't benefit you. Lei Hong glanced at the two behind and replied, though saving him doesn't benefit me. If he dies, then Guthu sect will be left to your false accusations. Then it really won't be clear anymore. You two go easy on them. I'll hold them back. Yes, Elder Li, be careful. Lei Hong raised his hand to summon a white-winged horse and shouted, Go, White Jade, Divine Steed. Liu Sungbin also quickly launched continuous blue beams. Wasted effort. This is your own fault. He used Spirit Beast control technique. Red threads appeared to bind the legs of the White Jade Divine Steed, causing it to panic, roar, and fall to the ground. Lei Hong's eyes widened in shock. Suddenly, he lost all strength and collapsed. How is this possible? With the support of spirit power and divine soul, I can fight even at the 10,000 laws realm. Liu Sungbin stood before Lei Hong arrogantly. This is the top-grade soft-bone powder that takes effect when mobilizing large amounts of spirit power. I originally planned to strike on your way back. If only you had compromised earlier during negotiations a few days ago and handed over the spiritual veins at the sect junction to us. It wouldn't have come to this being a farewell meal before going down the mountain. I didn't think the Leuven sect would do something so despicable. He glanced and saw Tubin-Tin chasing the group of Diep Sovan's men. Damned, raise your hands and surrender. You won't escape. Tubin-Tin stood there, his cold, sharp gaze fixed on Diep Sovan, his sword slicing through the air, lunging straight at him with a threatening challenge. Diep Sovan, surrender your life to me immediately. During the retreat, Diep Sovan was relentlessly pursued by Tubin-Tin's Langfeng Trum, strikes forcing him to use the Shunghu Kuifap to dodge deadly attacks. Li Haotret ran while asking suspiciously, what grudge does he have against you? Why do all his moves target you directly? Diep Sovan was equally confused. I want to know what grudge Tu senior brother has against me to hunt me down like this. Tubin-Tin roared madly. Shut up, you coward, who only knows how to run. My next move will finish you immediately. But Diep Sovan's agility surprised him greatly. Unforgivable, this brat can keep up with my speed. He swung his sword powerfully toward Diep Sovan, but was immediately blocked by an energy shield. All four of them were startled, exclaiming in unison, what is this? Behind them, Lei Hong suddenly erupted with all his spiritual energy, a blazing red flame rising from his body. You want to kill someone? You have to get past me first, Liu Sungbin said incredulously. Old man, are you crazy? Using a body-destroying secret technique for someone unrelated. Aren't you afraid your soul will scatter? Lei Hong raised his face to the sky and shouted furiously, I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it for the Nguthu sect. Then he immediately executed the Linvu Trongmin Diu move, summoning a giant crane. Liu Sungbin panicked. Linvu Trongmin Diote, divine beast and signature move of Nguthu sect. You dare summon it? Tubin-Tin quickly formed a defensive formation. This spirit beast is extremely powerful, has never accepted a master, and is not controlled by Lei Hong. Diep Sovan hurriedly fled, shouting back, Elder Lei, I will never forget your kindness. Go quickly. Tubin-Tin could only blink as he watched the two jump into the lake, roaring in fury. Diep Sovan, and Li Haotret dove deep into the fiery red water. Affected by the intense fire battle above, the water temperature changed from freezing cold to burning hot, exhausting them both. Li Haotret sighed. This time Elder Lei might be in serious trouble. Even if we defeat Liu Sungbin, Tubin-Tin won't be easy to handle. Even if we hide at the bottom of the lake, they will come looking for us after finishing their fight. Then death is the only way out. At that moment, a red light flashed, catching Diep Sovan's attention. He pointed in that direction. Don't give up yet. Look, there's light our way out, might be there. The two quickly swam toward the light. Diep Sovan exclaimed in surprise. I didn't expect this place to be a space separated from the water. Suddenly, the golden core inside his body began to fluctuate. Diep Sovan thought secretly that the core was unstable. Could there be something dangerous here? Seeing Li Haotret silent, he turned and asked, What's wrong with you? Li Haotret quickly signaled for silence, then pointed ahead. Look. Following his finger, a jade-green dragon was curled up asleep. This dragon is a spirit beast at the Thungyu level. At that moment, the booming sounds from the battle above startled them both. Damn, the dragon suddenly opened its eyes, its gaze blood-red, terrifying them. The fierce dragon has awakened. It roared, lightly kicked, and two huge columns of water shot toward them. Deep Sylvan shouted, "It's awake, run!" Filled with rage, it lightly kicked, again sending two columns of water rushing toward them. Deep Sylvan quickly used the Sunghu Kui bow and yelled, "Watch out!" Its attack struck. However, Li Haotrek was not so lucky. Hit by the water jet, he slammed hard into the rock wall, coughing up dark red blood. Fortunately, this fierce dragon was severely injured. Otherwise, Li Haotrek might have been reduced to a pile of meat. Seeing the fierce dragon open its mouth to inhale water, preparing a deadly attack, Deep Sylvan shouted urgently, "Danger! It's attacking again! Li Haotrek, we must quickly retreat from the cave entrance. The suction power of the evil dragon is too strong. The water inside the cave is rising rapidly. The cave entrance has been blocked. The evil dragon's water is filled with spiritual energy. If we touch its spiritual energy, we will suffer severe depletion. We might collapse from exhaustion and die before reaching the cave entrance." When seeing the evil dragon's water about to reach him, Li Haotrek fearfully gritted his teeth and shouted, "Magic golden toad appear!" A gigantic toad immediately appeared at his command. The magic golden toad sprayed a large amount of poison toward the evil dragon. "Poison it to death for me." But a Deep Sylvan silently thought from the side, the magic golden toad ranks 167th in the Shanhai Yiji with extremely strong toxicity. Any creature below the U realm that touches it will die instantly. But Li Haotrek seemed to think this golden toad was no match for the evil dragon. As soon as he finished speaking, the golden toad was tightly wrapped and bitten hard by the evil dragon. This evil dragon seemed completely unaffected by the poison. What is the background of this monster that it's not even recorded in Shanhai Yiji? Deep Sylvan suspected. Suddenly, Li Haotrek turned hostile, quickly running toward the cave entrance, looking back at Deep Sylvan with satisfaction. "Deep Sylvan, they want to kill you. Just obediently stay here and wait to die from poison or get bitten to death by the evil dragon. Only when you die can I survive." Does this guy not even want to spare me? Li Haotrek used all his strength to break the cave entrance and swim out. Looking at the mess he left behind, Deep Sylvan exclaimed, "This is bad. The cave entrance has been destroyed and the poison is spreading here." Suddenly, the leaf-shaped pendant on Deep Sylvan's neck flashed unusually bright, his eyes full of suspicion. This is a protective barrier suddenly enveloping his body. Deep Sylvan gradually became happy. "Great, so this thing can resist poison. Even heaven is helping me." He swam along the cave, muttering that if there are fierce beasts inside, there must be treasures. Let them fight first. Right now, the power of the blade dragon is too strong. The U-beast would probably only provoke it. While swimming, Deep Sylvan suddenly bumped into something. He gritted his teeth in discomfort, lightly tapped to check, and was startled to wonder why there was a barrier. This barrier is too thick. It looks like a key is needed to open it. On the other side, the blade dragon quickly defeated the magic golden toad, biting the spirit beast's body in half, then rushed toward Deep Sylvan. He couldn't stay here long and had to retreat immediately. Just as he sensed it, the blade dragon opened its wide mouth and approached. Deep Sylvan exclaimed, "Damn it! The magic golden toad is already dead." He quickly drew his sword, releasing countless sword energies of the Qingyuan sword technique. But the blade dragon was unharmed and kept charging forward. Its giant foot grabbed Deep Sylvan, pulling him toward its mouth full of sharp fangs. Seeing the blade dragon up close, Deep Sylvan couldn't help but be terrified. "Big salamander, you really should go vegetarian." Deep Sylvan's eyes widened, breathing heavily under the tremendous pressure from the blade dragon's foot, thinking, "It's over. Definitely over." His vision blurred gradually. He only had time to hear a strange sound that made him suspicious. "What's that? What sound is that?" Before him was total darkness, but suddenly a dazzling golden light appeared in his subconscious, carrying familiar energy. That light not only pushed back the ghost blade, but also endured persistently. Deep Sylvan painfully sat on the ground, coughing repeatedly. The essence pellet he had kept for so long suddenly floated in midair. He suddenly realized it was the essence pellet. It finally appeared. Suddenly, the essence pellet exploded into countless small fragments, radiating dazzling light. Even the ghost dragon was terrified and dodged, but was still pierced by the fragments through its thick skin. The monster roared in pain. "Is it really that strong right from the start?" Deep Sylvan watched in amazement. The ghost dragon had been powerful just moments ago. Now it was spinning like a toy. What exactly does this mysterious essence pellet contain? He wondered. The essence pellet continued shooting beams of light at the ghost dragon's blood-red eyes attacking its weak spots. Could it be that what's inside the essence pellet has awakened its spiritual wisdom? Deep Sovan was stunned. The essence pellet created a giant beam of light striking the ghost dragon, directly causing it to thrash about helplessly. It seems like it's preparing for the finishing blow, he muttered. As soon as the words were spoken, a beam of light split the blade dragon in two. Deep Sovan exclaimed in shock. Did it really break through the blade ghost's tough back armor so easily? From the ghost dragon's body, a blue demon core appeared. The blue core of the ghost blade, a precious item that would surely help me advance my realm, he thought hurriedly, stepping forward to grab it. But before he could touch it, a flash of light from the primordial fetus startled him. On his shoulder, a little monkey appeared, casually nibbling on the demon core. Turns out it was a baby monkey. Deep Sovan laughed, stroking its pure white fur. Forget it, since you're so strong, just eat it. Turning back to the glowing body of the blade dragon, his eyes flickered with excitement. Although dead, the items on it were still valuable. On the lakeshore, a chaotic scene unfolded. Liu Xuangbing and Tu Bintin stood silently looking at the bodies of Lahong and Li Haotrok, who were already lifeless. This old man is crazy going this far over someone he's neither close to nor fond of. Let's leave quickly before dawn, Liu Xuangbing said. Tu Bintin glanced unwillingly at the lake surface and asked Elder Liu if he was leaving Diep Sovan behind. Liu Xuangbing confidently replied. That brat shouted deep, Sovan is dead. Spare me as soon as he reached the shore, and there was a huge disturbance under the lake, so he must be dead. Besides, the battle commotion with Lahong earlier was too loud and would surely attract attention. Today's events must not be exposed. He pointed at Li Haotrok lying motionless on the ground and instructed, I'll take him back first. You lead the guards to watch around the mountain. Viyoung will consult the sect leader on how to handle this old man. Just leave it to the wild beast of Huang Sun to deal with. After the two left, Diep Sovan dared to crawl ashore and shouted loudly at Elder Lei, his face full of panic, as he rushed to support Lahong, who still had some residual vital energy fluctuations and could be saved. He intended to use spiritual power, but was stopped by Lahong. Don't waste your strength. My fate is sealed. Deep Sovan tried to persuade Elder Li, I will take you back to the beast taming sect. There will surely be a way to cure you. Lahong shook his head weakly. I have to rely on the red feather heavy feeling bird just to keep breathing. Liu Xuangbing's cultivation has surged. It's hard to recover without at least 15 days. He coughed until his whole body trembled and continued. I'm resolving the situation. Dying like this is already very good. They've deployed guards around here already. There's no way for us to escape. Seeing the little monkey sitting obediently on his shoulder, Lahong was astonished. Then he laughed loudly. Well done, heaven hasn't forsaken my beast-taming sect. Lahong sat facing Diep Sovan with a serious expression and asked, I ask you after how Lu Van's sect treated you like that. Do you still want to stay there? Deep Sovan replied, I no longer have any feelings for Lu Van's sect, only grudges remain. Hearing this, Lahong nodded with satisfaction, took out a cloth bag and an 8-trigram jade piece, and instructed, here, this jade is a treasure of the beast-taming sect. And this spirit-taming pouch is my personal item. It has been unlocked. The sect leader will understand when he sees it. From today on, you are officially my true disciple. Deep Sovan looked surprised at the two items in his hands, his eyes firm. His senior went this far to protect him. He would definitely not let him down. Under the late-night moonlight, Diep Sovan sat by the fire roasting fish, telling himself, according to the Shanhai Yi, all strange beasts have clear origins, but this little monkey remains a mystery. Although Elder Li did not know its identity, sensing its energy fluctuations, he knew it was no ordinary creature. Deep Sovan was deep in thought, not noticing the little monkey on his shoulder staring intently at the roasted fish, drooling nonstop. After finishing eating, he suddenly remembered and seeing it looking pitiful. He said, I almost forgot you haven't eaten all day either. Deep Sovan opened the system panel and carefully looked at the Shanhai Yi, which recorded how to raise strange beasts and rare herbs obtained from Kohian Duke. This is for you. He took out a handful of medicinal herbs and gave them to it. Eat this, little Bach. After eating, you'll become stronger. But little Bach flicked aside what he held with a proud and sulky expression. Deep Sovan was puzzled, raising the roasted fish. Skewer, you don't like to eat. Could it be you want to eat this? Seeing the grilled fish, Bach's eyes immediately sparkled, making him blurt out, I didn't expect you to be such a glutton. Bach didn't hesitate and happily grabbed the fish to enjoy it, but before taking a bite, Diep Sovan flung it away and shouted, Danger! He was alert and looked around. "Who's there? Come out quickly!" Tubentine jumped down from above arrogantly. "Deep, junior brother, your life is truly strong. The demon blade in the lake couldn't kill you, but unfortunately you still fell into my hands." Deep Sovan held Teobut tightly, his eyes cold. "Tubentine, why won't you spare me?" Tubentine angrily swung his sword, cutting the grilled fish in half on the ground. He stepped forward with a resentful expression. "Every time I see you, I feel disgusted and hateful, like I've lost something. Only if you die can I train in peace." He pointed directly at Diepsovun. "Besides, this time you killed the elder of the beast taming sect. The master has ordered that you cannot be allowed to live freely." Diepsovun's face darkened as he thought. Tubuk was trembling whenever Tubentine approached. Was he scared? At this moment, Tubentine could no longer hold back and charged forward, shouting, "Go die!" But unexpectedly, Tubok lunged out with fierce, bloodshot eyes. Deep Sovan was horrified, calling out to Tubut. Tubentine sneered, "A monkey trying to stop me. Tubut can't block my sword." A sinister smile appeared on his lips as he threw a punch that shattered the sword. Tubentine was pushed back several steps, glaring furiously at the sword's hilt in his hand. "Thien Hong, my treasured sword." Deep Sovan looked at Tubut, wondering why he suddenly went crazy like that. Could it be because of him? He looked at the fish fallen on the ground and guessed that Tubok was protecting his food. Happily, he shouted, "Tubok, give it your all and take him down. I'll give you 10 grilled fish. No 100 grilled fish, you can eat grilled fish every day." Hearing grilled fish, Tubok's eyes lit up, immediately filled only with images of grilled fish. Tubentine struggled to defend against the golden light from him. Quickly, he was knocked back, crashing into a large tree, body trembling as he looked at his wounds. Deep Sovan stood there, eyes fixed on Tubut, muttering in amazement, "What kind of creature is this?" He couldn't hide his excitement, seeing Tubok defeat Tubentine, the most proud sword disciple of Luban's sect, in just one move, leaving him severely injured. Tubok's power definitely must have reached the myriad techniques realm, Diepsovan thought quietly. Tubentine clutched his chest, face full of pain. He forced himself to speak. "Unexpectedly, there's someone stronger than me. Dofun Quan Yin, hurry and save me." Deep Sovan quickly rushed toward him, determined to deal with Tubentine right now. Otherwise, when Thun Quan Win arrives, a disaster will definitely happen. Senior brother too, a year from now. Diepsovan hadn't finished when a hand suddenly landed on his shoulder, a gentle yet powerful voice sounding. Deep Sovan stopped his sword. His strike immediately changed direction, nearly slicing Tubentine's neck. He turned around, both surprised and annoyed. "Ah, big sister, you came so fast. At least wait for me to finish speaking, will you?" He looked at the person before him, then slowly lowered his sword, asking suspiciously, "Senior Elder Thun Quan, are you here to take me back?" Thun Quan Wien's sidearms crossed coldly. I was just passing by. You go ahead. Today I'll pretend I saw nothing." Hearing this, Daye Sovan's face darkened as he bowed his head and clasped his hands. "Thank you, Senior Elder Thun Quan. I won't trouble you again." After speaking, he turned, placed Tubut on his shoulder, and happily walked away. "Tubok, let's go." Late at night at Tuvankat, a piercing scream shattered the silence. The sound of a jade cup breaking rang out, followed by furious scolding. "How could you let him escape?" Tubentine knelt on the ground, face pale and trembling. "Master, I could have caught him, but unexpectedly a very strong monkey appeared beside Diep Sovan, even glowing golden light from its eyes. The disciple was momentarily careless, so he was hit. Gushende didn't let him finish speaking and directly shot a stream of spiritual energy, knocking Xiaobing Tian backward. His voice was as cold as ice. "A worthless monkey like you can't even handle this. How do you still have the face to come back here?" Xiaobing Tian hurriedly crawled back and knelt at Gusyenda's feet, earnestly begging his master, "Please don't be disappointed in your disciple. I will definitely redeem myself with merit." "Kill that Yesua," Wang Gusyenda sneered threateningly. "I have spent countless resources for you to reach the 9th realm of Tongyu. If you can't do this, Daresiple, I won't let Master down again." Xiaobing Tian quickly responded, and Gushende nodded slightly and gave his order. "Yeshuan is currently being hunted by many. You don't need to worry too much. Get lost. Sister Shang, once you're fully healed, I have more important tasks to assign to you. Understood." Xiaobing Tian clutched his wound and forced himself to stand, fixing his clothes as he walked, gritting his teeth with hatred. "Yeshuan, just wait." Not even a few steps away, a male disciple accidentally fell to the ground before him. Seeing Xiao Bingtian's fierce expression, the disciple quickly apologized. Senior brother, I'm sorry, but Xiao Bingtian coldly dismissed him with a single strike, sending him flying away. Get lost. Inside the main hall, Liu Xiangbing hurried in and respectfully reported to Guxian, the sect leader of Baiju City has been captured. Please order to use all means to collect evidence related to him and Li Hao. She then send this information out as fast as possible. Guxian nodded with a cold gaze. Time passed quickly. 7 days later, at the foot of the Yushu sect mountain, Ye Shuowan appeared in blood-stained clothes, long hair disheveled, each step heavy. You heard countless whispers from those around. Have you seen the wanted notice? Ye Shuowan, disciple of Luyun sect, accused of killing Elder Li and betraying the sect reward of 10,000 spirit stones. I heard he's extremely dangerous. Don't let us run into him. Ye Shuowan heard every word clearly, a mocking smile curling at his lips. 10,000 spirit stones, quite generous. He gently poked Tubok's belly, muttering, Tubok has been sleeping deeply these past days. Once I find a stable place, I'll let him rest well. Approaching the Yushu sect gate, 2 guards immediately shouted, Beggar, this is Yushu sect mountain gate. You are not allowed in. Ye Shuowan calmly replied, I am. Ye Shuowan here on important business to see the sect leader. Please notify him. The 2 guards were stunned, shouting, What? You're Ye Shuowan, you dare come here after killing our elder. Someone Ye Shuowan is here. In the blink of an eye, countless disciples and spirit beasts appeared and surrounded him. Ye Shuowan hurriedly explained, I did not kill anyone from Yushu sect. I am here to fulfill Elder Li's last will and deliver an important message. Suddenly, a fierce blue spiritual energy struck down, accompanied by a shout, Stop lying. From the thick smoke, a man appeared with cold eyes. Li Haojie detailed everything. Ye Shuowan Mengketuo inner disciples of Yushu sect. All this was caused by you. What excuse do you have? Ye Shuowan's face was cold as he muttered, Li Hao. Gee, it seems he has been bribed by Liu Yun's sect. Seeing him silent, Mengketuo moved to attack. Just finished my mission and met you, lucky me. He summoned a large bird, producing a column of spiraling spiritual energy aimed at Ye Shuowan. Ye Shuowan quickly dodged, thinking, First time facing Tongyu realm, I used Void Clash Demon technique to easily avoid the attack. The crowd gasped. A Tongyu 9th realm with such power but unable to hit him. His movement is truly terrifying. Mengketuo took out a small yellow vial, eyes gleaming confidently. If I don't take you down today, won't I become the sect's laughingstock? He shook the vial, releasing a strange yellow gas that tightly bound Ye Shuowan and Tubok. What is this? Ye Shuowan panicked. In the air, the bird summoned another whirlwind aimed straight at him. This is bad, Ye Shuowan thought anxiously. The crowd murmured, Are they attacking? Mengketuo laughed confidently. Good avenged, Elder Li. This time you'll either die or be crippled. Just then an old man in a white robe riding a large ox appeared. The crowd immediately bowed to greet their sect leader. Mengketuo happily reported to the sect leader, I just took down Ye Shuowan. The Yushu sect leader's voice rang angrily. What? You are too reckless. I still need to ask him many things. How dare you kill him? Mangacap, terrified, quickly knelt down and hurriedly explained, Sect leader, I was so furious at him for killing Elder Li that I couldn't control myself and acted rashly. The sect leader coldly decreed, You will be confined for 3 days and not allowed to leave your room. At that moment, Diepsovan gradually emerged from the hazy smoke, coughing continuously, and sarcastically said, Only 3 days of confinement for murder. This punishment is nothing but a joke. As the smoke cleared, Diepsovan and Van peered clearly before everyone, his clothes torn, revealing a strong physique. He thought to himself, luckily Xiaobai dispersed that storm, but it's sound asleep now, so I'll just let it rest in the system space. Seeing Diepsovan, the female disciples immediately went wild, shouting, Oh my God, is this the beggar from earlier? He looks completely different. This body is perfect. Even the senior brother Man can't compare. How come you're unharmed? The sect leader of the Yu Thu sect turned and ordered, Enough, step back. He sternly looked at Diepsovan and asked, Diepsovan, do you have anything to justify your crime? Diepsovan calmly answered, It seems the sect leader is a trustworthy person. Since you ask, you probably already have your answer. Although I admit I have some talent, I'm only at the Yuan high level. How could I possibly kill an elder of the Van Fap level just by ambush? Those around started murmuring, makes sense, Elder Lee is so formidable. How could he be easily killed? But Senior Brother Y has confirmed it. Then how do we explain this? This matter is truly strange. The sect leader decided, if so, take deep. Sovan, back to the sect first. I need to inquire about the details. At the Yu Thu sect's main hall, Tuong Chin Tun sat in the leader's seat and introduced, everyone, this is Diep Sovan. Gongan Bak looked at him with unfriendly eyes. Luvan sect has issued a wanted order throughout the cultivation world. This matter cannot be denied. I think he should be punished here immediately. That would be the best way to respond to Junior Brother Lee without offending Luvan sect. Deep Sovan silently assessed the three elders. Ngongan Bak is ambitious. Fifth elder, Triofap, is cowardly. Fourth elder, Fuangnam, is Ngongan Bak's henchman. Chief elder, Ning, is indifferent, and the two elders, Don Vonhai, focus solely on cultivation, ignoring sect affairs. Sixth elder, Tao Ngak Ka, also sides with Ngongan Bak. This Yu Thu sect is truly a pit of fire full of traitors and rebels. Only Lu Hong was loyal, but has been killed. Deep Phuong Yam shouted, what are you sighing about? This main hall is no place for your insolence. Tuong Chin Tan, headache from their quarrel, said, enough, you juniors should stop talking. Deep Sovan, if you claim innocence, explain the cause and effect of this matter clearly. Deepa Sovan quickly took out 2 items of Lahong and seriously said, Elder Lee was killed by Lu Van Sec's Liu Xiongbin. Gongan Bak angrily retorted, nonsense. The relationship between Lu Van sect and Yu Thu sect has always been good. How could such a thing happen? Clearly you want to sow discord between the two sects. Diep Sovan held out the relics to affirm, I don't know the relationship between the two sects, but I swear every word I say is true. Fortunately, I met Elder Lei one last time. Before he died, he gave me this bag. Seeing the bag, Tuong Chin Tan stood up in surprise. That's right, this is the Yu Ling bag that Junior Brother Lee lost. But why is it here? Surely you stole it, Tuong Trithan added. Junior Brother Lei always carefully placed a seal on the Yu Ling bag. Without his permission, no one can open it. Deep Sovan, if you want to prove yourself, take something out of it. Fuang Yam disdainfully urged, you've been given the chance to prove yourself. What are you waiting for? Are you afraid now? Liu Xiongbin witnessed Lo Hong's death firsthand. This kid must be lying. Deep Sovan calmly spoke with confidence. Everyone don't be impatient. Then he chanted the spell fluently and the Yuling bag opened. Ngongan Bak and Fuang Yam were shocked and shouted, unbelievable, it really opened. Deep Sovan quickly stepped forward, knelt, and respectfully presented an item to Tuong Chin Tan. Besides the Yu Ling bag, I also carry an item entrusted by Elder Lahong. He asked me to personally deliver it to the sect leader. Elder Lahong accepted me as his true disciple. From now on, I officially joined the Yu Thu sect. As soon as he finished, the elders exchanged suspicious glances. Impossible. Elder Lee's disciple acceptance conditions have always been strict. For many years, there has never been a true disciple. Why is it so easy now to accept an outsider like this? Sect leader, this is not right. If we let him stay, it will definitely cause conflict with the Lu Yun sect. Tung Chin Tan remained calm and replied slowly. This jade hook is the token of the red feather loyal lovebird. It is not easily given to anyone else. Usually when you fight, I might turn a blind eye. But this time I cannot. The sect leader was firm. He immediately radiated killing intent. His cold gaze warning, do you dare to obstruct the last wish of Junior Brother Lei today? Deep Sovan. From this moment, you officially belong to the beast taming sect. I will thoroughly investigate what happened on Mount Viong. Deep Sovan bowed, filled with joy inside. Clearly, sect leader Tong is truly powerful and can handle everything. Ngongan Bak, seeing the situation hard to turn around, spoke up. If the sect leader insists on keeping him, then he must comply with the beast taming sect rules. Only after passing the test can he become a true disciple of the sect. Tung Chin Tan thought for a moment and said, the beast taming sect's test focuses on beast taming ability. The higher the rank of the spirit beast, and the faster the taming, the stronger the ability. The Lu Yun sect specializes in swordsmanship. He clenched his fists, his face full of worry, unsure if Diep So Van could shoulder this responsibility. Suddenly a phoenix appeared in the main hall, astonishing everyone. What is happening? From outside, a dazzling light shot into the sky, leaving everyone stunned. What is that? The cry seemed to be from the sect spirit beast, the red feather loyal lovebird. What has happened? The phoenix flew following the spiritual energy coming from Diep Sovan's hand. He stammered, asking, "Is this the energy of the loyal lovebird?" Trufap shouted in shock. "Has the red feather loyal lovebird accepted its master?" Tung Tun said seriously, "The loyal lovebird is our sect's spirit beast. But since the previous sect leader passed away, it has never accepted a master. This is the biggest event in 500 years. Does anyone else have anything to say?" Nin Trong respectfully clasped his hands and said, "The loyal lovebird can see future fate. Perhaps this person will be the one to revive the beast taming sect." "Congratulations, sect leader," Tung Tun declared with satisfaction. "If so, from now on, Diep Sovan will hold the status of proto-elder, join the beast taming sect, and temporarily take over the duties of Elder Lei Hong." Gong Anbak could not help but oppose. A proto-elder based solely on someone who has only reached the Origin Sea realm. Tung Tun coldly stopped him. "This is the rule established by the first sect leader. Have you all forgotten it already? Fine. Junior brother Lei has passed away. There are still many matters to attend to. You all may return first." The elders reluctantly left. When only two remained, Tung Tun seriously reminded, "If you have been accepted by the loyal lovebird, I won't beat around the bush. The situation you saw today, your heart is not united and has been oppressed by the Liuyan sect for many years. The future of the beast taming sect doesn't look very optimistic." Deep Sovan's eyes were resolute and unafraid as he replied, "From what I know, the beast taming sect's decline in recent years was because of losing to the Liuyan sect in the Great Spirit Realm competition. This caused the Spirit Vein territory to gradually fall into Liuyan sect's hands, making them stronger. If the sect leader agrees, please allow me to participate in the Spirit Realm competition for the next 3 months." Tung Tun lowered his voice and warned, "Although you are protected by the loyal lovebird, now your strength is still weak. In the beast taming sect, I can protect you. Consider this the last thing I do for junior brother Lei. If you join the Spirit Realm competition, the Liuyan sect will definitely do everything to kill you. This is a suicide mission. Have you thought it through?" Deep Sovan answered without hesitation. "Sect leader, rest assured this decision is after careful consideration. The Liuyan sect treated me like that. Even if they don't cause trouble, I will make them pay dearly." After a while, Chodai Maui, a true disciple of Tung Tun, led Diep Sovan on a tour. Deep Little Uncle the Beast taming sect doesn't have many strict rules. You can move around freely. If you don't understand something, just ask me. "Thank you," Deep Sovan replied. Along the way, many disciples looked at him with unfriendly eyes. Is he really the traitor of the Liuyan sect? You didn't know the one recognized by the Zhongming bird as master is him. Those words reached Chao Dai Mao's ears. He immediately turned around, his voice full of anger. "From today, Diep Sovan is the senior disciple of the Yu Thu sect. I won't listen to those words a second time. Do you understand?" The disciples fearfully bowed their heads and said in unison, "We will obey the senior brother's instructions." Chao Dai Mao patted Diep Sovan's shoulder to comfort him. "Junior uncle, don't pay attention to those meaningless words. Master said you have been recognized by the Zhongming bird. In the future, you will definitely accomplish great things." "Yes," Diep Sovan nodded. Chao Dai Mao pointed toward the blazing red gate leading up the mountain as a reminder. "Mindai Mountain ahead is the sect's forbidden area. You are not allowed to approach." Then he led Diep Sovan to continue walking. "Let's go to the animal field behind the mountain to observe the Yu Thu." "Thank you, Diep Sovan." He silently thought that in 2 days the infiltrator planted by Luvan's sect would begin to act. Very quickly at the animal field behind the mountain, a lush green grassland with wild beasts created a fresh and cool scene. Ngong Bak and Fuang Yam were also present here. Ngong Bak looked displeased at the two and asked Chao Dai Mao, "Who gave you permission to bring him to the animal field?" Chao Dai Mao fearlessly replied, "Elder Ngo Junior Uncle Diep just joined the sect. Of course he needs to come here to observe the Yu Thu." Ngong Bak sneered with disdain. "The title Junior Uncle is not easily earned. According to the Yu Thu sect's rules, anyone wanting to join must undergo a trial. Otherwise, how can they earn everyone's respect? Exactly on what basis does he receive special treatment? We demand fairness." Another disciple spoke up. Chao Dai Mao angrily gritted his teeth, hoping Elder No wouldn't make things difficult for them. Ngong Bak coldly said, Chao Dai Mao, are you trying to teach me how to do my job? This animal field is my territory. You have no right to speak here." Deep Sovan, who had been silent until then, gently patted Chao Dai Mao's shoulder and said, "Don't act rashly. Let me handle this." He smiled softly and asked Elder Ngo, Senior brother Ngo, what does this trial involve? Ngongan Bak grinned wickedly and ordered Trong Hong Trot explain this to the junior uncle and don't make it too difficult for him. Yes, disciple understands, Trong Hong Trot replied. Trung Hong Trot pointed toward a nearby horse pen with a challenging tone. Do you see over there? Your task is to feed the spirit beast. Recently this one has had some luck, so I'll take it. Then he stopped and pointed to a horse with jet black fur and blood-red eyes. You must feed this spirit beast. In his heart, Trong Hong Trot smiled cruelly. This black fiery horse is the most ferocious spirit beast in the group. To tame it, I have beaten and starved it many times. Deep Sovan did not hesitate and stepped toward the black fiery horse, which was hungry and wild at that moment. I look forward to seeing your miserable fate. He secretly used beast control techniques, making the horse even more aggressive. However, Deep Sovan saw through his scheme. If you want to play, I'll play along with you. In the blink of an eye, the black fiery horse struggled, trying to break free from the reins and trampled everything. Trung Hong Trot thought to himself, this time you will either die or be seriously injured. Chow Dai Mao worriedly shouted, Junior Uncle Diep, be careful. Trung Hong Trot coldly said, Stop. This contest is self-initiated. You must bear the consequences yourself. Deep Sovan calmly raised his hand and used the Yu Thu technique to soothe the horse. Immediately, the black fiery horse became docile. He held some grass in one hand and petted it with the other, then turned and smiled. Does this count as completing the challenge? Yes, Chow Dai Mao happily replied, definitely counts. I clearly gave the order. Why didn't the horse react? This kid is strange. His Yu Thu technique is even stronger than mine. What is going on here? That's right, my eyes barely blinked, and the black fiery horse suddenly became gentle. Deep Sovan handed the reins to Trong Hong Trot. I'll return this horse to you. He snorted. Don't get cocky, he muttered softly. The horse immediately attacked. Then the black fiery horse kicked hard, sending Trong Hong Trot flying. The people around panicked. Damn, is the horse crazy. Trung Hong Trot landed precisely in the horse's feeding trough. He hurriedly stood up, angrily stomping his foot hard and shouting, What are you laughing at? He grabbed the whip and lashed it at the black fierce horse, cursing. Look closely, I am your master. While hitting him, he also pulled the reins to stop the horse from running away. I've given you face already, right? Do you want another whipping? As soon as he finished speaking, the black fierce horse went wild, kicking him away with its two hind legs. Zhang Hongjie flew anyway, screaming in pain. Amitat. Suddenly, the black fierce horse turned around, blowing smoke directly into his face, making him have trouble breathing. Foaming at the mouth, helplessly lying in the food trough. Wu Yambo panicked and shouted, Hurry and save senior brother, this is really outrageous. He angrily turned to Ye Suoyun and shouted, Yu Ye, my disciple, has been crippled from the waist down. It must be your doing. Ye Suoyun crossed his arms calmly and replied, So what if I did it? We agreed on the competition and the spirit beast. Both were your choices. If something happened, you have to bear the consequences. Hearing this, Wu Yambo angrily scolded, but was quickly cut off by Ye. Your beast-taming skills can't compare to mine, senior brother Wu. If you feel it's not enough, we can continue. Seeing he couldn't win and was embarrassed, Wu Yambo hurriedly turned and left. Let's go, no need to see senior brother Wu off. Zhou Damao approached and praised young master Ye. Your mouth really pushes people around. Ye Xuoyun smiled. You don't offend me, I won't offend you. 2 days later at Minantai Mountain, 2 guards stood at attention at the gate. Ye Xuoyun hid in the bushes, observing the surroundings. This must be Ming Pavilion, a place storing many important beast-taming sect documents. Suddenly, a shadow swiftly passed by and took down the 2 guards. In an instant, it was Zhao Fa. Ye Xuoyun whispered, Come closer and see what's going on. Suddenly, a hand touched his shoulder. Are you Ye Xuoyun? He turned around in surprise. It was Tu Diovan. I think I've heard this name somewhere before. Suddenly remembering, he took out a letter from the elder's spirit pouch and smiled, handing it to Tu Diovan. Elder Le once mentioned that in the beast-taming sect, there is an elder named Tu Diovan who is beautiful, gentle, and talented. Seeing you just now, I already knew you were Elder Tu. Tu Diovan took the letter, mumbling. And he mentioned me to you. This is what Elder Lohong wanted me to give you before he passed. She stared intently at the handwriting on the letter, unable to help but sigh. It truly was his handwriting. Sorry to trouble you. While putting the letter away, she curiously asked, But it's so late, why are you still here? Don't you know Mingtai Mountain is a forbidden zone? Yes, Woyun could only smile awkwardly and replied, Elder Tu, I have some business. Before Elder Li passed, he told me there was a traitor in the beast-taming sect. He told me to pay more attention to Mingtai Mountain. By chance, I met Elder Zhao acting suspiciously, so I secretly followed him here to check things out. Suddenly startled, he asked, Elder Tu, you're here too. I am Tu Diovan. She quickly covered his mouth and informed, he's gone out already. She pulled Ye Soyun deeper into the bushes, explaining Jiaofa has gone outside. I felt his actions today were suspicious, so I followed him. Ye Soyun struggled to breathe, his head pressed against Tu Diovan's full chest, turning his face as red as a tomato. Thinking to himself, this hug is really hot. The two were silent. Unexpectedly, Jiaofa noticed and was paying attention to who was over there. Slowly, Duvan quickly changed position, pulling Ye Soyun's face to rest directly against her chest. Could we have been discovered? Suddenly, Zhou Damao appeared from behind. Elder Zhao, why are you here? Jiaofa turned back to inquire and found it was Damao. Why come to Ming Pavilion so late at night? Damao honestly replied, following Senior's orders to retrieve items from Ming Pavilion. Suddenly, he panicked and pointed at the two unconscious guards. Elder, look at those guards. Jiaofa quickly appeared behind Zhou Damao and pushed him hard. You really came at a bad time. Then he took out a strange pill and stuffed it into Zhou Damao's mouth. To avoid the sect leader finding out, I can only make you forget about this. Deep Sovan silently observed Chao Daimao after Jiaofa left. Then spoke, Jiaofa is gone. I'll go ahead and check. He gently placed his hand on Chao Daimao's nose to check his breath, and then said, still breathing. That Jiaofa guy is as timid as a mouse. He wouldn't dare kill anyone, let alone a true disciple of the sect leader. Surely he used a pill to erase Chao Daimao's memory. I know already, if anything happens to you, come find me at the Qi Refining Hall. Tu Diovan gently turned around. Thank you for delivering that letter to me. Under the moonlight, Diepsovan was helping Chao Daimao back on the road. He muttered clearly as he regained consciousness. I was ordered by the master to get something from the Ming Pavilion. Didn't expect to faint like this. Deep Senior Uncle helped me return. Hearing this, Diep Ben asked Elder Mao, You're too polite. Do you remember anything from when you passed out? No memory. Elder Chao said, Why are you just coming back now? I've been waiting for you half a day. Chao Daimao was surprised and asked Tronglok, Why are you coming to me so late at night? Is something wrong? This is the true disciple of Jiaofa. Trunglak held a bottle of wine in his hand and replied, Some personal matters. He shyly looked toward Diep Sovan and privately consulted Elder Chao. Yes, sir. Deep Sovan understood and quickly said goodbye before leaving. If that's the case, Elder Mao, I'll head back first. The great crisis that Chao Dai Mao faced had arrived. But I hope he can survive this disaster. Deep Sovan then immediately returned to his own room. Just as he touched the door to open it, a shout rang out. Deep Sovan, Trong Hong Trok, and two other disciples appeared. You're mocking me. Today is your death day. Deep Sovan calmly twirled his finger in his ear and replied, If it's coming, it's coming. Before he knew it, it was the next day. At the sect office, elders and the sect steward were listening to a disciple report. Reporting to the sect leader, Elder Chao was poisoned and has no breath left. Moreover, Diep Sovan's senior uncle was nowhere to be seen. The sect steward rubbed his head and ordered, Go find him quickly. If alive, find him. If dead, find the body. Gong Anbak deliberately spoke up. Last night, the Ming Pavilion was robbed, and we don't know what's missing yet. Now, with Chao Dai Mao like this, what should we do? The sect steward frowned gloomily and replied, What's missing is the Feng Shui geological map of the spirit realm. Fuangyam and Tao Ngok shouted in shock. What? Gong Anbak was equally angry, bulging on his face. Unbelievable. The Feng Shui geological map is the grand map of the spirit realm. The four great sects each have a part. If it's lost, what status does our beast-taming sect have left to speak of? Fuangyam chimed in, Deep Sovan's disappearance right now is really strange. Maybe he's a spy sent by the Liu Yun sect. Now he has taken the map and fled fearing punishment. We've long said that this Deep Sovan can't be kept. He's only been with the beast-taming sect a few days, but has already caused chaos throughout the sect. Truly a disaster. Gong and Bak continued to add fuel to the fire. It's really shameful in front of the sect elders. If the senior brother hadn't been soft-hearted and insisted on keeping Diep Sovan, this big disaster wouldn't have happened. Now it's over. Our beast-taming sect is finished. At this moment, Tu Diovan spoke up to explain, Last night I personally witnessed Jiao Fa overpower a guard disciple to break into the Ming Pavilion. Then he met Chao Dai Mao and forced him to take the memory-erasing pill. As for his death, what does junior sister Tu Diu imply? Is there any proof? Zhao Fa stammered in panic to refute. You're a woman, what do you know? Are you trying to defend Diepso Van by falsely accusing me? Gong Embak turned to look at her and sided with him. Exactly, Tu Diu Van, you're defending Diepso Van. Is it because he was accepted as a disciple by Lahong that your affection turned toward him? And slowly, Tu Diu Van calmly took out a crystal stone, her eyes challenging, as she said, if not, then nothing is proven. Take a look at this. The others were stunned. One said, Junior brother Zhao, I've known your character for years. You wouldn't betray the sect. Were you ordered by someone? Zhao Fa kneeled, trembling in fear. Senior brother? Gong Anbak angrily shouted. Zhao Fa, you're so bold to steal the sect's map. I actually trusted you so much. What exactly are you scheming? Senior brother Elder, no, don't be so quick to expose our relationship like this. Aren't you afraid? Zhao Elder, is this true? Suddenly, Diepso Van and the true disciple Trung Lak stepped in. Ngong Anbak asked Trung Hongtret, what's going on here? Last night I captured Diepso Van, gave him poison, then threw him into the wolf's den. He shouldn't have survived. Diepso Van stared straight at the two. You might be disappointed. Your poison couldn't kill me. Luckily, I have a necklace that neutralizes all poisons. Diepso Van, what are you talking about? What really happened? Chodai Mao stomped on Trung Lak. Angrily shouted, let me explain. Last night I saw Elder Trio coming out of Min Kak. He was afraid the secret would be exposed, so he sent Trung Lak to poison me. Luckily, Diepso De warned me to be careful beforehand, so I'm safe. Tung Chin Tun turned to Trio Fap. Junior brother, Trio, now that it's come to this, I can't protect you anymore. What do you have to say? Trio Fap knelt down crying. Sect leader, do you still remember Tulum? Tung Chin Tun was shocked. Isn't she dead already? Trio Fap hurriedly explained. Yes, but I heard Luvan sect has a secret technique to open the Min Ween Shi realm to guide dead souls. If I get that item, I can save her. Deep Sovun stepped forward. Do you know Luvan sect is built on sword sect fundamentals and doesn't have such a secret technique? I don't know who made up this lie to deceive you. Even if it exists, they wouldn't give it to you. Just use your identity to weaken Nguthu sect. Unexpectedly cowardly, True Fap went this far for the one he loves. Tung Chin Tun sighed. In the end, just a foolish fool. Junior brother True, and ask you just one thing. Where is the Feng Shui geological map? Trio Fap kowtowed. I gave it to senior brother Ngo. He will continue confessing. Senior brother Ngo is responsible for contacting Luvan sect members. Ngong Ambak angrily scolded. Trio Fap, your heart is truly wicked. What grudge do you have against me to betray me like this? Deep Sovun crossed his arms, calmly looking at him. You may deny it, but surely in such a short time you haven't been able to move the map far. Everyone knows the tricks of Joy Luat Doom. Just let them search and it will be obvious. Ngong Ambak quickly turned to Tung Chin Tun. You allow a nobody brat to humiliate me like this? You even want Joy Luat Doom to search me? Junior brother, this concerns the sect's future. If you want to prove your innocence, what's wrong with the search? Ngong Ambak had nothing to say, grinding his teeth with a murderous glare. Tung Chin Tun thought, you dare plot to kill me. Thinking this, he fiercely charged at Diep. Sovun voice full of rage. You stinky brat. How dare you scheme against me like this? Even if I die today, I won't let you live peacefully. Daimao rushed out to block him, voice firm. Elder Ngo, you have some nerve attacking right in the main hall. Ngong Ambak snorted coldly, one strike knocking Cho Daimao away, voice full of contempt. So what if I attack in the main hall? When the law hall arrives, I doubt I'll escape death. He then turned back to Diep, Sovun voice provocative. You still dream of using this brat to revive Nguthu sect? Today I'll cut off that thought. Fortunately, a protective barrier appeared just in time around Diep Sovun, stopping Ngong Ambak's attack. The old man exclaimed in surprise. What's going on here? Deep Sovun looked to his shoulder, surprised. Tubak, why are you here? Suddenly, Tubak's eyes emitted beams of light, pushing Ngong Ambak flying back. Nin Chung Kong and other elders were astonished. This brat's spirit beast isn't simple. It's not an ordinary Ngutu that can withstand Ngong Ambak's attack. At least it must be a Von Fap Khan. How could a Nguyen Hai Kane like him control that? Could it be Nin Chung Kong and Duan Vonyai exclaimed in unison? Spirit beast accepting its master. Ngong Ambak struggled to stand face, grimacing. Impossible. How can a Nguyen Hai Ken like you block my move? Veins bulging on his face, he roared, "Die!" Tung Chinten couldn't sit still, quickly unleashed 3 golden chains to stop junior brother and go. Stop clinging to illusions. Gongan back was tied up, confused, looking at the chains. Deep Soban, also curious, asked, "What treasure can restrain even a Vanfap king?" Tung Chinten explained, "This is the Kun Win Toa. Even under the Umdung mirror, it can be subdued. Specifically used to deal with the Grand Vanfap realm." Gonganbak screamed wildly, "Tuong Chinten, you dare use the Kun Win Toa to bind me? Lu Van Tong will not forgive you. The beast taming sect must take the initiative to confront him and handle him. According to sect rules, traitors like that do not need to be spared." He turned to Zhao Fap, his tone stern. "As for you, junior brother Zhao, due to your obsession and going astray, you shall retreat into seclusion for life to reflect on your mistakes and regret your wrongdoings daily. That is your punishment." "Thank you, senior brother." After resolving the two, Tuong Chintan happily looked at Diep Sovan. "All right, now it's your turn. Luckily, you discovered it in time this time, preventing a major disaster. Do you have any requests?" Thanks to the sect leader's absolute trust, everything went smoothly. Deep Soban clasped his hands seriously. If the sect leader says so, the disciple won't be polite. The disciple intends to participate in the Grand Lin Joy. Previously, I wanted to train and forge some treasures. Currently, I am lacking some materials. Tuong Chintan immediately agreed. "All right, I can give you. This is the sect leader's token. With this token, you can enter the beast taming sect's treasure vault to look for suitable materials and enter or exit anytime. There are some items there that might be useful to you." Ning Trong Kong also praised Diep Sovan. "You know, even we rare Chinese get into the treasure vault, let alone take items from inside. This time you're truly lucky." Deep Sovan respectfully thanked the sect leader. Tu Duvan curiously stepped forward and asked, "Do you really want to join the Grand Lin Joy?" Deep Sovan firmly replied, "Of course, my grudge with Lu Van Tong can just be settled at the Grand Lin Joy." Tu Duvan reminded, "All right, since you've decided, I won't say anything more. But if you want to forge treasures, you can come to Kai Sun to find me." Deep Sovan watched as Tu Diovan's back disappeared and couldn't hide his joy, smiling. "Good things just keep happening today. I've been waiting a long time for you to say that." At the beast taming sect's treasure vault, located on a mountain shrouded in mist, Chao Dai Mao was leading Diep Sovan across a suspension bridge. He reminded his junior brother, "Be careful in this abyss. There's the Lai Ha vein. It's hard for anything to escape. If you fall, you won't come back." Deep Sovan glanced down secretly, his expression full of worry and fear, silently telling himself, "People often say that the great continent's hidden dragon is a gathering place for many powerful experts. Everyone aims for the precious treasures here. The rumors are indeed true. However, the beast taming sect has now become just a tale of the 4 great sects. It's really puzzling." After a while, the two crossed the suspension bridge and stood facing the castle ahead. Deep Sovan pointed there and said, "This is the treasure vault." Even just standing outside, he could feel the abundant spiritual energy flowing continuously, making him exclaim how powerful the aura was. Suddenly, a voice echoed from nowhere. "Enter, but remember, you may only bring 3 items." Deep Sovan was surprised and asked back, "What? Only 3 items allowed?" The voice immediately warned, "This treasure vault hasn't opened for anyone in nearly 600 years. No one has ever taken 3 treasures out before. Don't be too greedy, kid." Deep Sovan quickly clasped his hands and apologized. "I spoke out of turn. Please forgive this junior. You have a quick temper." At that moment, an invisible force pulled him inside. The voice shouted, "Stop nagging, hurry up and enter." The door slammed shut, leaving Chao Dai Mao standing stunned outside. Does our sect really have such a domineering senior? Half an hour later, Chao Dai Mao saw Diep Sovan calmly walk out. He asked, "Junior brother Diep, have you finished choosing?" Deep Sovan smiled happily and replied, "Besides this silver silk armor that I chose myself, the other 2 items appeared thanks to resonance." A strange voice echoed from above. "Kid, you really are lucky. The Huyantin triple armor is a true Chai-level treasure. With your current strength, you can't fully utilize its power yet, but its defensive ability alone is enough." Deep Sovan quickly clasped his hands in thanks. "Thank you, senior, for pointing that out. I wonder if these 2 treasures have other effects." Suddenly, a white figure appeared, looking annoyed, and shouted, "The treasure vault has thousands of treasures. How could we possibly know everything? Find the goods have been taken, so get lost." The two immediately followed each other and left unaware that behind them, a silver-haired man was watching with curious eyes. Very interesting. He muttered, the lustful imbalance of the 8 trigrams tower has been covered in dust for many years, yet it was taken by a young guy at the Origin Sea realm. But many years have passed. Who knows how many enemies remain in the early spirit refining phase? Countless items were laid out in a pile. Tu Diovan looked astonished at the treasures before him and exclaimed, the horn of the 1,000-year-old demon horn with veins like a Keelan scale. A 1,000-year-old demon horn with cultivation comparable to the yin-yang realm. This kid truly has great luck. That big monster has already been injured. I guess it was looted. Deep Van Van calmly sat down to drink tea and asked, tell me, what do you plan to do with them? Deep Sovan hurried over to massage his thigh and flatter the senior. I'm already deeply grateful for your agreement to help. As long as I can be of use, what requirements could there possibly be? Tuduvan smiled slyly upon hearing this. If that's the case, you'll be thrown out immediately in bewilderment. Tuduvan instructed, I will call you when it's done, he said to Tuong Chinthain. No visitors are allowed at my place these days. No one is permitted to come here. Deep Sovan muttered, this woman is really hard to understand. Meanwhile, at Yuthu Sect, the sky was clear blue and the scenery felt like a fairyland. Deep Sovan had just stepped into the hall when he heard Ning Trong Kong's voice. It seems it's been many years. Kaisun hasn't heard the clang of iron, but your kid really has the skill to make Elder 2 come out again. Deep Sovan modestly replied, I once showed determination to participate in the Grand Spirit Realm, and Elder 2 respects me. She hopes I can win the Grand Spirit Realm for Yuthu Sect. Tuong Chintan reminded him, the Grand Spirit Realm is held once every 100 years to select the 4 strongest sects of the Great Enterprise Imperial Dynasty and divide the spirit vein mineral resources across the continent by ranking. Smaller sects that failed before will send their best disciples hoping to break into the 4 great sects. The spirit realm itself also contains many opportunities and rich treasures. However, alongside these opportunities, the spirit realm also hides countless dangers, traps, and strange creatures. Our goal is to kill as many high-level strange beasts as possible because this is the measure of victory. The feng shui map of the spirit realm is currently held by the 4 great sects. Usually disciples of each sect only operate within their own area. Only those with extraordinary strength dare to try crossing boundaries to hunt higher-level prey. With a serious expression, he analyzed the situation. Although the purpose of the war is not mutual slaughter, all means can be used to win. One slight mistake, and you could lose your life right in the spirit realm, especially if you are the main target. Deep Sovan listened and remained determined. I must go. Tuong Chintan immediately supported. All right, Yuthu Sect will put all resources into you. The elders and I have discussed and decided to reopen the ancient forbidden area once more. Deep Sovan was slightly doubtful. What is the ancient forbidden area? The ancient forbidden area is a part of the battlefield devastated since the ancient times. The predecessors used extraordinary power to carve it into a small space. Inside is filled with monsters and powerful energy. However, every time it opens, it consumes many years of our cultivation. Is a kid like you worthy of... Ning Chuang Kong also spoke. Each sect is allowed to send only 2 people with cultivation, at least at the Yu Kong realm. This kid's cultivation has reached the 9th level of the Origin Sea realm, plus the support of the heavy emotion bird, power equivalent to Yukong realm. If we have 3 people inside, we will gain the advantage and have a chance to turn the tide. Tong Chintan stroked his beard warningly. The ancient forbidden area is extremely dangerous. 9 deaths, 1 life. I agree to try. 1 or 2 days later, Deep Sovan, along with the elders and disciples, gathered at a large open area. Tong Chintan anxiously instructed, remember my words carefully. The ancient forbidden area is vast. Most strange beasts in the Origin realm have power at the Origin Nourishment realm, in Origin Sea realm, and outside the Origin realm is extremely dangerous. Absolutely do not step in. I understand. After saying this, he and 4 elders formed a circle and shouted loudly, we elders set the formation. They released their power together and shot into the sky. The forbidden land opened in the sky, emitting a dazzling golden light. Tung Chintan hurriedly pushed Diep Sovan into the black hole, reminding him, the forbidden land will reopen in 1 month. Keep your balance and don't forget to return to this exact spot. Got it, I understand. Suddenly, a broken sword also flew into the crack with him. Is that a broken sword? Sovun was a bit suspicious. The aura on that sword just now was unusual. Perhaps it has a great origin, but don't let it affect my trial this time. Looking at his fate, he angrily cursed. Deep Sovun fainted and then slowly woke up. In front of him was a large city gate. He looked around and wondered, is this the Forbidden Land? It looks like an abandoned military camp. In the sky was a blazing red sun. According to the system, the passageway back to Nguthu sect will close in a month. Maybe I need to train and find a way to escape early. Deep Sovun stood up and entered a tent. On the table were several books. He picked one up and read. This seemed to be a notebook complete failure. This will be our final battlefield. Perhaps some powerful mutated beasts have appeared that we can't deal with, posing a great threat to the army here. While flipping through the pages, Sovun suddenly saw a piece of paper fall out. He picked it up and realized it was a chaotic Forbidden Land map. A particular area was circled, probably the escape route mentioned in the notebook. He put the map into his jacket. The path to the chaotic Forbidden Land is the longest and most dangerous. Before that, I need to find every way to become stronger. The strong smell of blood triggered Sovun's senses. Since stepping here, he always felt like someone was watching him. Just as he finished speaking, a giant fierce gecko suddenly appeared and attacked him at a lightning speed. Sovun quickly opened the Mountain and Sea Position book to look up information about this creature. The book said this species usually hides in the dark, waiting to ambush and strike suddenly. It seems like it's been waiting for me for a long time, Sovun muttered. Then the gecko rushed forward again. Sovun nimbly dodged and drew his sword to counter. He felt the formidable strength of his opponent. Its power is terrifying, he thought while fighting and retreating. Sovun analyzed the situation according to his cultivation level. It shouldn't have been difficult to defeat it. Maybe the killing aura in the ancient Forbidden Land made these creatures stronger. He decided not to run anymore. Sovun turned around. This species usually attacks alone. So there must be many others in this forest. Thinking so, he took a running jump and unleashed a strong slash, hoping to end the fight quickly. Great slash, sword technique, Sovun shouted. The power of the strike made the air tremble. As soon as he landed, Sovun saw another huge pack of geckos charging more than he expected. He muttered. Without hesitation, he used the Pure Origin sword technique to launch rapid attacks on the gecko pack. Tens of thousands of sword strikes eliminated the entire pack. Sovun plunged his sword into the ground, panting. His current stamina wasn't enough to continuously use both Great Slash and Pure Origin sword techniques. It seems my weakness is my stamina, he told himself. 3 days later, Sovun continued training in the forest, provoking a giant gecko pack to come. Chase me! He nimbly dodged their attacks and quickly counterattacked. Demon power, fist one strike of his, knocked out the entire pack. Tung Chin-tun, watching from afar, nodded in approval. This kid isn't bad. He knows how to overcome his weaknesses in such a harsh environment. If he matures, he'll be truly terrifying.